Okay. You guys' timing is terrible.
We tried. That's
Yeah.
what matters, right?
Hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome in, and Anurad Atishan, everybody. Welcome to episode 11 of our DragonAge Story Blood and Lyrium. It is our penultimate session, titled Here Comes Revenge. Apologies for being off last week. I was having a real not good, very healthy time. But we're back. So here we are. Before we do our introductions, I'm going to give a little intro video. Sorry, words. I'm having a day, guys. This is my little chat about content warning. So, Dragon Age is a setting which has some dark and difficult themes, not only with some grisly horror, but also in its political and cultural tensions. There are power imbalances throughout the lands of Thedas, and we may on occasion touch on these in our story. Rest assured, we will be as respectful and considerate as possible when we do, and we have had discussions about our lines of veils prior to the session, so we can check in with each other, but we want you to be mindful of your own comfort levels too. As important as these stories are to voice, your happiness and comfort should be paramount, and as such, we would never judge if you need to step away. A little extra to this is that we are going to be addressing some of these issues, particularly when we're in the alienage. We will be discussing themes around alienage, the oppression in the alienage, and the treatment of the elves. I will not be going into great amounts of detail, but it is definitely present and something that we will be fighting against today. So you've had that little warning. We will do our intros now. I am Emma, our Hamalu on the internet. I am currently a she-they kind of person, although it is changing currently. But yeah, and I play everybody that these guys do not. If my players could introduce who they are and who they are playing, that would be grand.
I'm Emily. I scream very loudly when I roll dice that don't matter. And I use she/they pronouns. I've been playing Kana, the dwarven mother slash blacksmith, who might beat up on some jerks and bullies today. The turmeric latte I just heard about because it sounds really, really yummy. That's me.
Everyone, my name is Satan or Alyssa Vamp. I go by any and all pronouns as long as it's respectful. And today I will be playing Phelan, our Dalish elf mage. He goes by he, him, and also our resident baby girl.
Hello, I am Jill, and there is a plane flying by my house currently. I also go by Ghosty JK. I also ghost by Ghosty JK too. I use she/they pronouns, and I will be playing Beverly, the human warrior, resident other mom, the MILF that everybody everybody loves. I'm gonna stop talking now.
We're all doing great today. Hi, everybody. I'm Tord. Tord Talks Creativity. My pronouns are she, they. I am playing Oriana, the human rogue, or revenge, I guess, today. Her pronouns are she, her, and she is so motivated today. Also, this is my cat. Thank you.
Hey, cat. It's the bomb.
Hi everyone, I'm Sakaya. I go by she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Eranon, the chastened wild rogue. And a little bit later on, I will be turning the lights on so that I can actually see you all.
Yeah. We're all having a day today, everyone, but it's fine because we take care of one another, and we encourage you to take care of yourselves too. I am going to try to make words now. Wish me luck. Last session saw our party finally arriving in the city of Denirim. This brought with it a close encounter for Irana with an ex of hers, a noble who was Bev's point of contact for her son Aiden's safekeeping. It was highly awkward. It was avoided with it getting too awkward and actually being recognized, at least. Iran and Oriana left to make the trip to Padstow, leaving Phelan to head to meet a contact of Iran's in the premier brothel of Denirim, known as the Pearl. On his lonesome. He's just a little guy in the big city.
I was successful.
Big dreams.
I was successful.
Yes, getting there. So Bev and Kana head to Lady Millicent Arkwright's estate for the safe delivery of Aiden. there was the pointed question as to whether or not Bev was in fact the mother, which she confirmed. A note was received by Kana with some updates about her daughter Rainey that was written by her ex and not her daughter, something which has irked our dwarf. Phelan went to meet with the fellow elf named Rylan, Iranan's contact, and got some updates about life in the alienage, a little bit of insight into his working relationship with Iranan, who she is to him, along with some special interest excitement over darkspawn, dragons, and blights. Oh my. Our three in Denirim then head to some secret passageways that lead them within the alienage to see if there is any aid that they can lend the people there, who are currently being held captive within said alienage after some rioting happened. Meanwhile, our two rogues traversed through the northern stretch of the Brazilian forests and finally made it to Pasdo, where they finally make it to Oriana's childhood home. Within, she does not find her mother, but a note with a manipulative message that alludes to her mother's possible kidnapping by the man that Oriana has been running from. Wasting no time, our two rogues are now racing back to Denirim in the hopes of a rescue mission, and possibly some revenge. Our focus is going to shift first to the alienage of Denirim. These people seem desperate. They are held captive currently, and they have been for a couple of weeks. Resources are running thin. The people seem scared, and there is no doubt that a great many people here could use some help. Your current guide, Rylan, surveys the area as you move to leave the building that you have entered from. I'm curious just what your thoughts are and where your eyes may be focusing on for the three of you as you step out of this building and see a place that is in quite desperate straits currently. What's going through your mind right now?
I think with Phelan, there's just this kind of like hurt in his heart, because unfortunately, it's not the first time he's seen elves in need, but throughout it, that sadness, there's a determination to help. And he's looking at the people, looking at what they may need that he can offer, and just looking where he can start to help. And there's like this underlying, like, boiling anger almost at how they've kept people here, and in his, like, even under that layer, there's also that, like, because he grew up Dalish, and some Dalish don't like city elves, is that, like, no matter where we are, we're all just elves trying to survive.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just looking sad but determined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and never more so has that mindset of yours settled in more than when you're looking at this scene. As you say, some of the Dalish are hostile even towards city elves and have unpleasant words that we shan't repeat here because it's technically a slur in the game. But like you say, it's just people struggling.
Did Rylan already leave?
Nope, he is with you. I'll just check in with the other two, and
Yeah,
then he is going to check in with you in card.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I guess Bev was in a very, like, playful mood because of, like, the conversation with Rylan on the way in here, but I think that very quickly kind of dies down as she looks around and realizes, like, oh shit, yeah, there's, like, actual stuff going on right now that we had talked about, and she's coming face to face with it probably for the first time in her life, because there is no alienage in Lothering, or there is one in Southreach, but she had only just been there for, like, the first time on the way up. And knowing that they're just kept prisoner here, I think her energy very much just, like, flattens. It's like, crap is that she's just trying to take in all of the sights before her that are very like foreign to what she would understand a city to be like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think Kana has a very similar walking into the room and the vibe drop, but like it's like, okay, well, gotta stop hitting on Bev. Shit got serious. Like, okay. And is like sort of immediately has like a game face on, and to her it's like yes, obviously this is like a settlement with people that are all in need, like we're here for in need, but like she starts seeing it like as physical space more so, and is immediately like, okay, that's broken but would need a few people's help to pick up and carry, and the like just like is immediately like looking at needs and organ and like what it would
Yeah.
take to organize
Triage.
things and like what we have time for, what we
Mhm.
have the resources for, and it's just like
Yeah.
almost like surveying the construction site or whatever, like is in prospector mode now.
Yeah.
That's not the
He'll.
right word, but whatever.
Well, I understand, but it's triaging the level of care that different people need and where you could help. He'll turn to kind of like look at you all and hold out his hands in an almost mocking, like, ta-da! Here's our alienage. And give a smile where you can read the tone of his voice, even if he is trying to play light with the heavy situation. Got any questions?
Is there space where all the hurt are that I can go to?
Yeah. I guess everything's pretty. I mean, it was a bit shit beforehand, if we're being honest. But, yeah, things are not great. We could find somewhere for you guys at least. I know you're not going to be here for terribly long, but, yeah, we're there's a lot going on. I mean, we're running. The passages are very good for smuggling things in. I've been running a bit of a food train, I suppose you could call it.
How long have you all been trapped in here?
It's been a good week or so. Nearly 2 weeks. With no sign of it getting any better, and honestly, with people escaping from the south, it's not going to. The city are going to have very different priorities right now and not dealing with the issues here. And we've got some fucker that's coming in and just making everybody's lives even more miserable. Let's try to avoid him. Don't think you guys need to be dealing with that.
All right. Two things.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can round up those that need immediate medical care?
Yeah, we've got a few people that are already running stuff out of someone's house that lives down on the ground floor, just over there. We can go there. They're just using like herbal shit,
And
potions or anything.
second, not Rylan, Phelan, is going to go into his bag and give Rylan 34 silver. For the rest of the food that you may need to sneak into here, if you need to buy anything for them, I trust that you know what to do with that. See that maybe while we're here helping, we will also need eventually a ship to leave soon. Is there any way that you could help with that?
Not necessarily.
That's fair. Keep the money for whatever it needs. It's not much, but
yeah. It's just areas outside of this spot here that have elves in them. not good. I try my best not to have my face seen too often unless it's in places that I know I can trust or have
Fair.
convenient ways out of.
Do you want
But-
me to go and get it?
Well, I mean, there's things that I mean that would be useful. I'm just meaning I can't really go down to the docks at the moment to try and get you a ship.
That's fine.
I've had some things I've needed to deal with ships recently, but you know, I'm pretty good at a lot of things. I'm not one of the ones that's very good at going completely unseen.
Mhm.
My talents are more in my gob.
You said
I'm behaving. I'm sorry.
Bev like kind of like smacks Bev on the shoulder. Like,
What?
it just goes over Phelan's head.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh well, I mean that too, but yeah, no.
Which
there
place you
somewhere-
said was
oh, sorry.
makeshift?
Huh?
Makeshift healing house.
There's already one, like I say, that they're dealing
Yeah.
with.
No,
things, yeah.
he's asking where it is so he can. Just
Oh
go.
yeah. We
Yeah.
can go there. We can go for a little wander. We've had a couple people. Well, there's one woman who's been in labour for a while, and that's been not great. I mean, maybe she's. Well, I guess we'll hear.
Question, Emma.
Yeah.
Would I have experience helping people deliver children in my clan?
Well, you have two people here who have.
That's true.
Yeah.
Uh.
I think you'll know the basics of things that help. The actual delivery, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll have some awareness. At least you'll have been started to get trained before you ended up having to leave
To leave, yeah.
certain things. Yeah, but
Okay.
things that will help. Yes, the actual delivery of.
Yeah.
Less so.
So, okay. She's gonna then just wait till Rylan just takes him where it is.
Yeah. Very good. What about you two? Is there anything in particular I can help with, offer?
I think I can help wherever is needed, so whichever one of you
Sure.
needs an assistant, honestly, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I was thinking about setting up kind of outside nearby Phelan, so we're not too spread.
Yeah, because you're a
lot of
smith,
people-
right?
Mhm.
Right.
That's good. That's useful.
A lot of people need help, so
Yeah.
if you could, Bev, if you can at least help people clean any wounds or help
Yeah.
move
We've got a
things
lot
around.
of those.
Mhm.
At least that's a check. Maybe they're doing okay, but they a few of them got
Mhm.
pretty badly beaten up recently. So
I can help
there's
with that.
that. Yeah. You mend bones? I'm assuming
can.
your stuff does that.
I can.
Does this like a? I'm not gonna use the word in here.
I
Yeah,
can.
all right. Come on then. And starts to trottle off.
Mhm.
Alright, can I just holler if you need anything?
Will do.
Yeah. So he will lead you guys through the square. There's no real like business or commerce happening, and it's not like the usual going about your everyday life that's happening. These people are in crisis mode currently, but there are people that are out on the streets. You can see there's a couple of groups who are huddled and talking. Some of them seem to be looking more towards some of the structures. There's one group that actually eye you lot particularly. Well, they'll kind of like see the general, like there's not elves here, and especially Bev gets a bit of a suspicious eye from these people as they speak in hushed tones. Rylan walks you past them all as you head
What do they
towards
look
this.
like?
Just elves, just really they are a little on the unkept side. Looking just normal men.
Just
innocent elves. Yeah, they are you would assume that they were laborers, maybe that sort of thing. Not something that is unheard of, but they're looking at you suspiciously. Not that they're being suspicious, but they're like,
I interpreted that wrong.
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. No,
Humans
they're just
fucked
like
up their
they're just
life
like,
currently, so they're
yeah,
looking at
yeah.
humans suspiciously.
So
That's
human?
fair.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. But yeah, he will lead you to the space, and it looks like this is the thing about an alienage is that the structures tend to be built quite high on top of each other. If any of you have ever seen places like Dharavi in Mumbai, or I guess in some ways some of the favelas in Rio, but you know, small homes that are kind of stacked on top of each other, a little ramshackled. The exact purpose, you're assuming it's housing. It's hard to tell if there's like a business on the ground floor, but this one has its doors wide open, and you can see there's a couple of people sat outside. One of them has like a bandage that is up over like half of his face, covering one eye, and an arm is in the sling, and he's talking to somebody else who appears to be having a bit of a smoke break outside. You can hear sounds from the inside, and it looks like whatever this building had been, if it was someone's home, which seems possible, they've kind of pulled in a few little cot beds, and have just kind of turned it into a bit of a medical center in some way. There's a few people in here that are not looking terribly well. There's a couple who just look sick, but the vast majority here look like they are badly injured. You honestly would have thought that they'd come out of some kind of conflict, like a war, like, you know, they'd been down in Ostagar. They look that kind of beaten up, and there is indeed a woman there who is heavily pregnant and incredibly miserable. Who's kind of posted up in the corner. Rylan comes in and kind of gives he'll speak quietly to them in that I'd like to think that some city elves do that thing that we have here in Scotland anyway with Scots, and I know some other cultures have it, where the basis of what you're talking is English or common, but there's like elven words thrown in there just to kind of make up the general chit chat. And he will give the woman, who looks a bit run ragged, she's currently got a bit of an apron on and a bit of cloth tucked into it and sleeves rolled up, and looks haggard, like she looks exhausted. Give him a bit of a double kiss and starts to talk to him, and then he gives a bit of a wave and disappears off to go and see the heavily pregnant lady. And he pulls out of his pocket, it looks like a small children's toy, like a little rattle that's made of metal, and it's got like little dangly bits that would make a sound as well, and that is a really, really nicely made item. He did not buy that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You can tell.
What rattle?
What rattle?
Oh, I don't.
Did not see.
Okay, yes, and the woman he spoke to seems like to be kind of in charge.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
She will, like, after talking, and she kind of watches him as he goes over to her, and then she'll look at you guys and do a estimate of the three of you, and then settle on Phelan.
Phelan has kind of put his stuff in a corner, like his bag. You see him taking off the it's this green kind of over, like, almost robe style. There's kind of like a more fitted long sleeve shirt that he's pulling the sleeves up of, and he takes his hair and ties it back. And as he does that, you guys see the side that's always covered. You see this burn mark that covers the hairline there, and you see that the reason he can't hear well out of one ear is because the ear's completely burned, and it kind of crawls slightly over the edge of his eye, and you see speckles of it over his cheek and nose, as if like an impact. But he has a very determined look on his face as he's kind of tying his hair up, and he looks at the woman and says, "Who's in the worst condition here?"
Well, what kind of aid can you offer?
I can heal them. I have magical abilities.
Right. And she, like, holds your gaze for a moment, and you can see that she's, like, settling, processing.
It's a very kind of like determined,
And then
even
she'll,
like, you know how autistic people just don't look you in the eye. He's staring at her like right.
Yeah, she holds your gaze for a moment
Mhm.
and then nods. Right, I'm Shani. That
Phelan?
over there, the two there have, I don't know, I think it's maybe cracked ribs.
Mhm.
I
check.
suspect there's more going on occasionally. That one's coughing up blood, but I really have very little to help with that. Cuts and bruises and breakages and dealing with that one. And she'll like thumb over to the pregnant lady. I can handle those.
I can
But
help
whatever
with
it
the
is that's
crack
going on.
bruises.
Okay. You know what? Thank you.
Of course.
You'll get no problem for that here. As
Mhm.
long as you're helping.
Always.
Alright, here are your friends. And she kinda she
Yeah.
looks at the two of you with a slightly
Yeah.
you feel like, and this is maybe a look that you guys have given, because you're both mothers. You know, there's a look that a certain type of woman can give you where you just feel a little seen and like you suddenly have to act right and a little straighter.
Yeah. This is Beverly and Kana. They're here to help, not to cause problems.
What kind of help can you give?
Pretty good at fixing stuff. Was gonna set up my anvil and grab my hammer and see what needs a nail.
A nail. Can I recommend some of those guards? I reckon they could do with a nail at the head, if I were being quite honest.
Wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
See what
sure
I can
you're.
do.
Yeah, that help will be useful. Have you got an anvil with you?
Yeah, it was on my back this whole time. Shit, I didn't think about that. I mean, we
to be
knew
honest
we
with
were
you, we
coming
don't.
here, right?
Well, you were. Yep.
Kind
I mean, I would say that for the general type of help that you need to do, you wouldn't necessarily need an anvil for that type of help because you're not
Right.
necessarily fully crafting, and you could probably find something sturdy enough to do the basics of what you're needing.
Right.
So
I'll say I don't
yeah.
have my anvil, but I do have my saw and my sack of nails and a shovel.
Yeah.
Those are all just tools that I have.
Sounds like you
that
came
that
prepared
are on
for
my
business.
character sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I ain't questioning it.
And me, I'm a laundress, but I'm pretty strong if you need any assistance doing anything. Like I'm a mother, so I might be able to help with the birthing process.
Yeah, we've been waiting a while. She's definitely overdue, and it's if I was only looking after her, well, we'd have tried a few ways of getting that baby out, but for now, that would be very helpful, actually. It's been difficult for us to keep things clean here. Access to clean water has not been very easy, and there's an awful lot of people here that need it for various things, so things are not as clean as I need. And as you'll know then, we need clean things for her. Make sure it all goes without any complications.
Could help with washing bandages or sheets, just keep things as clean as possible around here.
Sure. Yeah. Alright. Well. Your help is appreciated. Not many are willing to do it or in a position to do it. And we're relying very heavily on the likes of, and she'll point over to where Rylan is, people that are have the means to do so.
We'll get started then.
Okay. She kind of leaves you guys to it to go and filter out and find people that need help, places that need help. Phelan, you'll see. Well, why don't we roll a medicine roll? It would be under cunning. I don't know if you have.
I have healing.
Yeah.
I need to up my cunning next. 16 with 4 stunt points.
Incredible. Yeah, it does seem that one of them
Mhm.
has cracked ribs and likely some internal bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
And given where it is, the danger of that being in his lungs is quite high. So, he seems to be the highest at risk and is unable to communicate with you right
Yeah.
now because talking is very sore.
He will he'll go to them first.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you wanted to describe? Sorry.
No.
Okay.
I try not to go too in-depth details with medical things because you know.
He still has the staff on his back. It's like the one thing he's kept on him, but other than that, he'll go to this person and just kind of do that kind of like, I know you can't talk, but hi, my name's Phelan, I'm here to help you. Just blink where it hurts. And kind of will do a little examination and just start. He just says this is going to feel strange, and will just start using his healing.
Sure. Can you roll me the casting of the spell?
Yeah,
I'll
I
only
sure
have you do
hope-
it once and not every time, but there is risks to using magic, as you
There
will
sure
know.
is. I rolled well once. Let's hope. I think
You're fine. You made it.
I
So
did
was
it.
12, your target
Yeah.
number was 10. You did it. There's 3 stun points there, so you can always
Yeah.
drop the mana down to 1.
Yeah.
So we'll just assume you don't have to necessarily roll how much healing. It was just to make sure you didn't fall into the fade by casting a spell. Which is a real possibility.
That would
It
be
is.
wild to have.
Could
I'm
you
here to
imagine?
heal you.
Oh, goes into the harrowing. You know,
Yeah.
it's a little awkward.
A little
But yeah.
derailing there, but that's fine.
New mission. You guys
Find
just see
Phelan.
something
No.
appearing on your screen and you're like, why is there a new mission? What happened?
We didn't
Phelan's
have
on
a
the
plan
floor.
for today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're able to do your healing, not just with him, but the others. You can see that these people were very badly beaten. Yeah.
There is like, he's happy to help and grateful that these people are getting healed.
Mhm.
But each new person he treats,
Mhm.
there's just like this rising anger in Phelan.
Yeah.
And he's trying to keep calm because strong emotions tend to be not great for mages. But it's just he's happy to help, but there's seems to be like this constant deepening frown on his face. But he's going through the motions of healing, and he'll smile to them for a moment. You should still be careful. There's gonna be bruises. Stuff like that. I suggest you rest up, and then go to the next person and say, okay, what hurts?
Yeah, you get a woman. She's got broken jaw.
He will treat that. Certain things he'll treat like regularly at first, like broken jaw, put that back in place before healing it. He has some healing knowledge, some medical knowledge that he's going to try and put to use as much as he can. And he'll just say like, hold on to this while I put that back in place. It's gonna hurt. He's not gonna lie to her. And then after that, heal a little bit. It's gonna end up mostly bruises now instead of like anything too much. Anything he can help the most like what needs to be taken care of is more like bleeding wounds, broken bones, and then he does not care. He will use as much as his power as he needs to, his mana, to help these people. He keeps going. He doesn't take breaks for however long they're here. And he's just really determined to just help these people however he can, because wherever they came from, they're his people.
There's maybe a bittersweetness to maybe the next person that you go into and they actually have Valisline, the face tattoos of the Dalish on their face.
think
But-
if he meets someone like that, he'll give a bittersweet smile and ask their heal and be like, I was in a class too, kind of like small talk,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
them
yeah.
distracted a little bit, and just continue on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good. Kana, I would say that when you go out, you may just kind of do that, offer general assistance. Is there a way you would approach? Do you announce to people that you're here and this is the kind of help that you have? Do you go and find a couple people to be like, hey, do you have word of mouth? Like, if you want to just let people know, how do you think Kana would be approaching that?
A mix of both strategies, like just like fully like walking up to people,
Mm-hmm.
and if they need help, great. If they don't, well, I'm here. I'll be around. You know,
Yeah.
kind of deal. I think it may be hard to. This might not be as much of a helpful tool to navigate as I would like it to be, but I'd like to go where there are broken things.
Yeah. No, I
And
would say
that's
so.
probably not.
I
That
think
probably doesn't narrow it down very much, but
no, but the thing is, it's as you're doing it, you notice one of the groups that you passed was looking at a wall, like a section of a building. And as you pass by, you actually see what it is that they're looking at. And there's a series of homes. There's like 3 stacked on top of each other next to this 4 that's stacked on top of each other, and it butts up against one of the exterior walls, like the stone walls, to the city. And you can see the weakness. There are cracks in some of the woods. One of the beams has actually broken. And they're talking because they're concerned about the weakened structure to it, and just trying to figure out how they're actually going to approach it, because to reinforce it, like getting you wood is fine, but they're not able to get you wood right now. And maybe your brain is just going to connect some dots about other things you've seen laying around, and with your talents, especially with metal, you're like, I reckon I could do something. And what I like about this is those of us who have played through these games know that this part of the city does not fare very well in the impending future. So perhaps something you do today, you may not even know it, but you have the potential for saving lives right now as you're standing looking up at this building.
no pressure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if I can, I could melt something down and put it there, and if we just hammer that into the,
Mm-hmm.
the load bearing and the structure and the
Construction talk,
engineering words.
Yeah, engineering
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, right.
I'll
Like
actually
it's
fix
like you're
the
on a
barn
building
just
site and you
like
hear
this.
the yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
It's like when you put subtitles on, they say they're speaking Korean, so it's not useful. It's like they're speaking construction.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
speaking the trader language or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And perhaps you maybe just ask, like, do you have these kind of things laying around, and is there something that you have? And just in discussion with other people who clearly are slightly more crafty, they're not well trained like you, but they do what they can around here, because a lot of these homes are makeshift and built by the people who live here. They're not officially, built by the city kind of deal.
This building isn't up to code.
It certainly is not.
In front of my OSHA handbook.
Yeah, don't worry. Shh, OSHA, it's fine. And they'll be like, oh, well, actually, we have this and that, and they'll start to go like disperse ever so slightly. A couple of them, will go and start bringing in materials and talking things through with you, and you can see that there is actually the potential if you can get up there, and they'll talk you through how you actually get up onto the roof of the 3 stack building to help the structure that's beside it. Do you have a skill you would like to roll to try and attempt this?
To attempt the actual fix itself.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna give you a +2 because you have people here assisting you.
Okay. Well, it's not smithing. Technically.
If
I
you're
don't
using
have-
metal, I'd allow it.
Well, then
It's the
I'll
skill.
use...
That's the skill set that you're using. It might not be traditional smithing, like the creating and repairing of things like within a blacksmithy, but like it is using your knowledge that ties to your profession.
I will take it. Dang. No stunt points. just a 19 then.
Listen,
Just
Nine-
a 19.
19 is yeah. That for this game system is an incredible like superhuman roll. You know, once you get up over 18, you're like even the most difficult
Your
tasks.
strength is +5.
Yeah.
I was proud when I got mine to +4.
Some people are just built different, you know.
My shoulders are the size of your head. Don't
That
worry
is a skill
about
issue,
it.
yeah. So, you are able to. It feels, you know what? At the time when you're doing, you're like, I'm not sure this is gonna work. This is maybe a little janky. It's not like your best work. And if you actually had materials and an anvil, you could do it. But you kind of step back and look at it, and you're like, you know what? That'll hold. That'll do. At least for now. Like they're gonna have to perhaps do something a bit more long term. But it's one of those moments where like you complete something and you know when you're playing a computer game and you make a decision in something and you're like, I know, like in the epilogue of this, we're gonna hear back about the outcome of what just happened here. You just, you know, butterfly effect affected something in the future in this area.
Hey.
Love it. Loves it. Beverly,
Hello.
hello. You're going to be cleaning up and also helping this poor woman who is very
The descriptor is
overdue, very
heavily pregnant.
She's heavily pregnant. And like, you know, elven bodies just structurally are like quite narrow and petite things for the most part. And she looks miserable. And what she's lying on right now is not comfortable. And you know that at that level, nothing is comfortable.
Yeah.
So it's
There's
made
a certain
even
point
worse
where
for
you're
you.
just in so much pain. It's like doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. You know, lending some assistance to her, you suppose might be a good place to start.
Mhm.
What would you like to do in that moment? What would be your priority right now?
I would like to kind of take stock of the situation and see if there's like anything that needs immediate attention before going and talking to her. Like if there's like obviously like soiled linens or something that need to be taken out of the way and changed out.
Yeah,
Handle
things
that like
here.
immediate stuff first, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Things here don't look like the clean. They're doing their best.
Mhm.
And you reckon that whatever limited clean water that they have, a portion of that is getting funneled here because it is a, you know, a health issue. So yeah, you can head over and just start to take those things up and start to clean it out. You know that you've got things, and like there's a certain way to being able to do this in certain products. You can maybe ask around for a couple things that you can do some makeshift detergent, basically.
Just get some lye in here, guys. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna make you roll for this one in particular because this is not something where a dice roll feels like, you know, something's hanging in the balance, but it's incredibly important work, and so you'll just kind of take the time to hang those out and go and lay them out. It's a warm-ish day today. Mostly it just feels quite humid. You've not been to a city that's right up against the coast like this, so
Nope.
you know, something about coastal cities, man. Humid as fuck.
Yeah, honestly.
Mhm.
Very different than living down by the wilds.
Yeah. But if you leave them there, they'll probably cool off. And you can get at least some water in there to create a cooling effect with the cloth to kind of lay over her forehead. She will probably do some light conversation as much as she's able. You can tell that she's just really
Yeah.
uncomfortable. So
I
it's
think
like,
most of the conversation is Bev talking to her.
yeah.
And like holding her hand is just like squeeze if you need to. Just I can take it. It's fine.
Yeah.
She'll talk about like her experience, like being pregnant and all like her life back home. Like so, it's not all about the pregnancy. Getting her
Yeah,
mind
just
a little
speak to
bit
her as a
differently.
woman. Yeah. She'll
There's gonna be like a small like comment from Phelan in the background, be like, make her squat.
As he's walking by, like from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
kitchen.
She just scowls at you. I think you two will bond because she is a seamstress, and so although your professions are not the same, often they are somewhat in tandem. And there's enough similarities where she can kind of just talking about work and her profession and hearing from you and
Bev is
hearing
asking a
about
lot
where
of
you've been,
questions.
and yeah, it's just nice for her to like take her headspace out of her physical situation by just enjoying some conversation. Eventually she'll be getting some pains and try to move around. She doesn't, you can't imagine, she feels like she wants to squat. Would you like to try and help her do the squatting?
It's just
You
one
may have
squat.
to assist. Yeah,
Just one squat.
Yeah,
Gravity
I
needs
will
to help.
assist her. I will assist her. Like, do we have any?
All
Was
right.
it spicy food? Is that also a thing?
Spicy food, yeah. Yeah, Rebels get something big enough that they don't have big inflatable things. Something big and soft and just sit and like bounce around on it. Yep.
Alright, I'm busy.
Wild.
Yeah. So you will do it. Can I get a I'll call it dex or strength, I don't mind, and whatever if you have a focus you feel would help. Just to help like lift this woman up and then help her get down and back up again.
Yeah.
Quite funny.
I'll do
The
a
difficulty for
strength
this is
roll.
not very high.
Well, 10.
Just as well. Yeah, it's not great. She starts to go down and you can feel like, oh god, this is gonna be a problem, and you try to like hold on to the back of her arms and be like, oh
Yeah,
god.
but I was trying to like be delicate so she's not
Yeah.
using enough strength and it's
Yeah. The two of you have a bit of a struggle. It's kind of funny, and it does get some laughs out of the people who are there watching, which, you know, at first might make you feel bad, but you realize that actually a little bit of humor for these people is probably going to go a long way to making them feel a little bit better. The person who had the broken ribs, the ribs are probably healed, but the ache in the muscles is probably still there. So they'll like,
There's
do that,
still some bruising.
starting to laugh and then go,
yeah, been there. Or it's like, don't make me laugh, please, Alice.
Yeah. Yeah. So eventually you just kind of help her get back onto this little cot bed. Eventually, I think Ryland's actually going to swing in with you, Phelan, when you're working. And just kind of do that thing where he'll stand beside you and cock his head and like watch what you're doing and watch this person without saying anything at first. He just comes over to just watch.
Yeah.
Standing next to you.
Phelan is focused on this person 100%. I think he being so close, he kind of smelled that kind of like the magic, like that healing magic that we described with the group, that kind of like aloe vera minty freshness kind of feel. But he focusing on the person just as do you need anything? Can I help you?
Huh? No, I was just seeing if you were all right. You needing anything?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just need to get through a few more people. Then I can go to people that are less grievously hurt. Probably ease some comfort there.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to like take a little breather. As far as I'm aware, your type need to restock the charges.
Mana?
I know what I mean. Yeah, sure. Yeah, mana. You're gonna run out eventually, right? Exhaust
Eventually.
yourself.
But I'm good right now. That doesn't feel right, taking a break right now.
I mean, I get you. I've been kind of going at this for about a week solid. Can't remember the last time I had a full night's sleep. So I understand.
How bad has it gotten recently?
Pretty bad. It's getting harder to bring supplies in. And I don't know how long they're going to leave it, but it feels like if this thing is coming all the way north, like, people can't escape. Which is not a very comfy feeling, you know? But I'm doing my best, and right now I'm just trying to avoid another riot. Because there's some people that are wanting to bring justice into their own hands, but I know that that'll probably lead to, oh well, a worse outcome for everyone here.
Unfortunately, it's
Yeah.
they'll do this over the simplest light. I can't imagine what they would do over an actual riot.
If we kill some of their own. I mean, this all started because some noble came in here and took advantage. And naturally, people were a bit cheesed off about it, you know? And brought justice into their own hands. And then the city guard came in, riots. There was violence on both sides, and then they just shut the doors. But there's a few that still come in here because they want to swan around knowing that there's not much anyone can actually do about it right now. And the ones who could fight are all in jail right now, what with the last riot.
They can do more than just heal if you need it.
I bet you can. I mean, I wouldn't presume to put you and your friends in a place that involves ultimately pretty serious criminal activity. They're known to keep watch when those folk come in here, so they'd always be witnesses, you know? That's why nobody's done anything yet. But they're doing shit like that, and he'll nod his head over to the people you've been healing.
Yeah. Phelan, he like finishes up with the person. It's like, go rest. You still need bruising. You'll still have bruising, so don't take it too far. And then he turns to Ryla and says, I've been quiet most of my life, on the silence of a lot. But the things that have happened recently and this, we can't be quiet anymore. We can't afford it. But should you see the guards that come in, let me know.
Yeah. They usually come in for an evening shift, so...
I'm not much of a fighter, but magic has its uses on the field.
It's dangerous doing that in here, you know? There'll be people watching.
I know.
And I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you what they do to mages.
I know.
Don't want you getting into bad trouble just over us, you know?
I can't. What's the point of protecting myself and what I do if I can't help people with it?
Yeah.
I'd rather risk getting hurt, getting taken, and help some people along the way than protect myself and do nothing.
Well, if it's any consolation, if they do start to pull some shit and try to take you away, you've been helping people in here, and I'm pretty sure, not just me, but quite a number of us will rise up again. Help cover your exit.
I appreciate that. Plus, also, if you give Kana a sword and Beverly a paddle, they'll make quick work of them also.
They do seem the dangerous sort, like not in the bad way, you know, like the good way. You guys are, I don't know. You know, sometimes you can just tell with people. I'd like to see what your magic can do, though. Like, healing's good and all, but like the big explodey stuff's really fucking cool.
I haven't learned any big exploding stuff, but recently I did learn something that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, what can it do?
I can literally just hurl a magical rock boulder at someone and knock them over and hurt them.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I haven't tried it out yet, but been meaning to. We got a good target.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Just be like, dodge this! Wah! Whole fucking boulder thrown at the face. Love it.
Yeah. Most of my other magic is more of the icy type, so
Oh. Cool. Cool, good. Yeah. Anyway.
I think that gets an actual chuckle out of him. We have bad jokes. I like it.
I have good jokes as well sometimes, but yeah, the bad ones I think
Bad ones are better.
are the funniest. Yeah. You know a person's good if they'll laugh at a bad joke. It's a mark of character.
I suppose. They
Yeah.
don't take themselves too seriously. But just keep me updated if there's any trouble. You guys don't have a lot of able-bodied people at the moment that can fight. We can.
I don't know, some of us have able enough bodies.
I know. Yeah.
Cool. Alright, well.
It's failing.
I'm gonna promise to go and find some apples.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah. Also, Phelan's gonna point to his face and see, like, mostly just
Yeah.
wanting to hide things usually.
Yeah.
Like confirming what they had.
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
they'd
before,
already
yeah.
talked about it. Yeah. I don't know, maybe someday you'll get to see mine too.
I think Phelan is like at that moment, it's like, I know I've been flirted with recently.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to pinpoint if this is also like that, or if this is serious, or if this is both. So there's just a very confused look on his face, and he just goes, I like that? Like, is this the correct response?
Okay. Good.
I don't know if you're flirting with me or not.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. I've been accused of being quite a flirtatious person with, like, anything with a pulse, but, like, that's not actually true. Those are just nasty rumors people will spread about me.
You thought I was special.
You are special. Not often a little magical elf boy sneaks into our alienage. That's quite special.
I'd say elf man because I am an adult, but you know, I'm also very. I know what I look like.
Well, I wasn't implying that you were young. I used that word just interchangeably with any kind of age. It just okay.
I'm making this worse than it has to be. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm self-aware enough to do that. I'm gonna go that way.
It's difficult to offend me.
It's not offend. I am embarrassed for myself. I'm gonna go heal that guy over there.
All right. Goodbye, magical elf adult male, and turns around and leaves.
Just like Jesus Christ.
He chuckles as he leaves.
Phelan's sweating, I'm sweating.
Yeah. He's gonna like toddle over, start looking around. He will find Beverly, perhaps outside hanging some things up to dry, and like stand and watch you. Maybe you haven't even noticed that he's there yet, and he just goes, "I hear you're good with a paddle."
Oh shit. Okay. Hi. Hello. Hi, Rylan. It's good with a paddle. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, with
Sorry,
stories
Jesus.
and everything.
Oh, Andraste.
Oh, Andraste's tits. Yeah. Is it true?
Yeah. I mean, I am a laundress after all.
Well, yeah. There must be a story there, though, before people are bringing it up.
Yeah. And I have a feeling the story's not going to go away anytime soon, so might as well.
Do you love
You
a story?
kill a darkspawn with a paddle one time.
Yep.
So, I think we mentioned that we ran into Darkspawn on the road up here,
Yeah.
leaving Lyrium. Well, none of us were particularly trained fighters to begin with, so we made do with what we had, and mine happened to be my paddle.
All right. Did you? Are we talking like splat with the head? Was it a headshot? Was it an uppercut with the jaw?
I knocked
Did
him
you
over.
take out the knees? Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother used to train me in like his swordsmanship stuff, so I was like, it's similar enough. It's a long stick.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. And you know, like the bludgeoning weapons can be fun. I'm not normally a bludgeoning weapon kind of person, but it can be fun to watch.
Yeah, honestly, there was something very satisfying about it.
Hell
I do
yeah.
have a actual sword now, though, so I feel like
Yeah.
that will do me a lot better.
It might be a little more effective, yeah. Although, if we're being honest, right, strategically talking, these things are pretty dangerous, and it's their blood that's really dangerous. A bludgeoning weapon does not always like let blood out, so you can still take it out without cutting it, and then you have less blood, and then you're not gonna get like the blight or anything.
Yeah, we did hear that, and honestly, in the moment, there was a little bit of panic, but
Yeah.
I feel like ultimately we were okay.
Well, good. Glad to hear that. Well,
Maybe I need to keep the paddle around.
yeah. Knives for the humans, paddles for the darkspawn.
I'll make sure to have an array of weapons to choose from.
Yeah. And you know, you can keep the paddles for the like people as well, but like
I mean,
for
only if they
fun
ask,
stuff.
obviously.
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
Come on, you think I wouldn't?
You look like a lady that does. I appreciate that. I think gives you a little
Take it
bow.
as a compliment.
Yeah. Well, you're how'd your dwarf get up on that roof? He's gonna
Huh?
look over and see Kana, who is currently standing on top of a 3-story high building.
Well, I'll be damned.
Impressive.
You know, she has a way of of surprising us.
Yeah. She seems like she's good for a laugh though.
Oh yeah, real fun. Great conversation partner too.
No, great. Love that.
Spent a lot of evenings drinking together.
Nice. Well, we don't have an awful lot of that around here, I'm afraid. I do happen to know of a stash of some homemade moonshine type fruit wines. If you maybe as a gift, as thanks, should you know for the help you've been offering.
That is a very luxurious gift. Are you sure you're willing to part with it?
Luxurious. Wait till you taste it before you give it that title.
I couldn't think of a better word. I've been laboring. I'm sweaty. Okay, this is.
It's the best kind. Yeah, I'll see if I can grab some. I need to go and get some apples, but happy paddling. He's just gonna wander off.
Bev could not roll her eyes harder.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she's got a big smile on her face.
Mhm.
It's one of those
Mhm.
things where it's like, God damn, you're insufferable, but like you can't stop smiling.
Yeah. So, over time, over a handful of hours, you are all three continue to help out. I imagine with what you're doing, you kind of press past when you would maybe normally naturally stop for food, but a few people do, you know, nag at you enough to make you stop and sit down, take a little bit of a breather. They make sure that you're hydrated as best as they can. You get some like really strange tea. It's the best they could make. What water they do have palatable. But you know what? It's got a little bit of a kick. Give you a little burst of energy.
Brew tea with liquor instead of
Yeah. Eventually, Rylan will swing by with a bottle that has suspicious looking orangey pink kind of coloration to it. Be like, don't question it. It tastes good at first, and then it doesn't, and then it tastes really good. It's very strong.
I won't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, this is not the kind of alcohol that's designed to chug. You know, you want to.
Kana, that's bad news for you then.
Damn,
I
I was
mean,
gonna
you-
make the same joke.
I mean, you're welcome to try, but like, I mean, there's barrels over there if you find yourself
Don't
suddenly
tempt her; she'll try to do
No,
it.
in need of
I-
excavating what you've eaten.
I will behave myself.
All right. I mean, that's no fun.
Sorry.
But he'll go off and find
Yeah.
some like mugs as best as he can. They're a bit makeshift. To get you something that you can have a drink if you want to. As the evening starts to roll around, you can tell that the sun has set. Things have cooled down a little bit. People's behavior doesn't shift because nobody's necessarily at work. There's not like a natural time of the day where people stop doing things and move on to somewhere else because everyone is just, as I said, in here in crisis mode. People are being grateful for the help that you've offered, but they have so little, there really is nothing here for them to give in return for it. And eventually, Ryland's gonna come over and like lock eyes with you, Phelan, and he'll like tap the nose and make you peep. Just you can see moving now through an area that is further up. You can see 3 guards dressed in attire that you saw when you came into the city. These are city guard, and one of them, this like built like a brick shithouse dude. He's, you know, thick around the middle, but looks like he could pack a mean punch, and he's got one of those like weird like chin strap beard things going on.
Hate him even more now.
Yeah. It's funny because they always give it to a certain type of NPC when you meet them.
Because there's
in DragonAge,
only
you're like-
certain type of people that have that beard.
Yeah, who would only have a beard like on the strap of your chin?
It's
and
not the same
anywhere
thing.
else?
It's
No, it's not at
thin
all. No, I
one.
know.
It's
No,
the
I know.
thin one.
I 100% know. I maybe styled my beard like that once
Yeah.
in my life, and then I was like, ew.
You learned your
Yeah.
lesson. It's fine.
Yeah. So he kind of comes in and he's not necessarily done anything yet, but you can tell with the way that Rylan reacted who that is. You can see a few people like moving indoors now and doors being closed. There's a few people who are starting to like eye him up. You see a couple people who are being like pulled back from him. But that is indeed the person. Now, the way we're going to handle this, and how maybe you 3 want to handle this, is we're not necessarily going to do full role-playing out strategy and lots of roles and stuff like that, but I would like to know what your intentions might be and what you feel you 3 would do knowing this situation. How would you act?
I know what I want.
Sure.
There is, once he reads that look from Phelan, because he may not pick up on certain cues, but he can. Sometimes he just ignores them because the social cues are stupid. But there is like, it's strange because I don't think y'all have seen like Phelan like genuinely like pissed. And it's not like this grimace or this like huff and puff. Very much like his magic, it is a very cold stare. And all the softness in his face kind of leaves. There's kind of like this intensity in his eyes, and he just gives the 2 of you a look that just says, "I'm about to do something."
All right.
Okay. Maybe we should do something before lances start getting thrown.
Oh, don't worry, it's not gonna be a lance.
Can I ask
All
something?
right.
And I
Yeah.
feel like the answer is going to be no to this question, but I'm going to ask anyway. Would Bev know enough that she thinks having like a human visible to these people would make it somewhat easier for them to like calm things down and not escalate things, or would that make things worse?
I feel like a human being there is enough that's going to give pause and confusion that it would be an excellent distraction. But in terms of like a deterrent from them coming in here and being heavy-handed with their treatment of elves, probably not, because they have that you know, it's that confidence that a mediocre straight white man can often carry themselves with. I feel
Yeah.
like that's the vibes you're getting.
Yeah.
Of like they feel really secure and confident in the fact that they can do whatever the fuck they want in here, and they feel like they're not going to be held to task for doing it. Because right now, general city mood is very, one way about the current situation.
Yeah. So I guess that doesn't really change too much of what I feel like Bev would do in the
Mm-hmm.
situation. She's going to be like hanging out like laundry out in like a visible area, and then she's gonna kind of go into mom mode a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to trust Kana and Phelan to make the right decision here because I have a feeling this is going to escalate.
Yeah.
But Bev is going to kind of be that like focal point for them right now. And go up to them and just kind of start talking as if like there's as if she doesn't know that these are the people that have done this to them, or it's like, did you know that there's so many people who were just hurt here? I've been helping out in the infirmary all day, and they're so beat up. Can you believe that? Who would do
such a thing?
She just starts going in like mom mode, where like very like obviously like those
Concerned
like,
citizen.
Yeah. Concerned citizen, almost like Karen but made good. Like use the
Karen powers for good. While that's happening, Phelan is kind of like has come out, and it's strange seeing a small elven boy acting as like a bouncer at a door, but it's kind of like
elven adult male.
Adult male, sorry.
Carry on. Yes,
adult
carry
male. On. Yeah, strange elven adult male. Be a bouncer almost at this door.
Okay.
Just watching them pass.
Okay.
The way that neurodivergent stare intensity is. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Kana is just like nearby, like was maybe gonna go do the same but more antagonistic thing to what Bev is doing.
Oh,
so
I toned down.
She got there
my original
first.
idea was.
she got there first and decided not to start throwing hands.
You could lead
so,
there.
but
I very much.
Kana is just like, I think Kana is just like nearby, like leaning up against the post, like sharpening a sword, just like chilling, but just like watching near enough that if Bev gets in trouble, she can involve herself.
I would say, and again, I'm not going to roleplay out because they will be using slur language, but if effectively they give you the impression that they don't really care that anyone was hurt here because it's just elves, and will move past you, and actually the big lad, the main guy, is actually gonna probably not intentionally, but like move past you in a way that actually bumps into you slightly to get you out of his way.
I cast Stone Fist.
Okay.
That's my mom.
I feel like this conversation, this scene was just like, okay, all of us want to throw the first punch. Who is actually gonna throw the first punch?
Yeah.
Me with a spell named Stone Fist.
It was Phelan and the alienage with Stonefist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How would the other two react to this? Again, we're not going to go in the weeds of an encounter. What I want to know is just ultimately how are we achieving an end to the scenario? What cool shit do you want to do? And then if there's something that feels like it needs a roll, I'll get you to roll. I will get you to roll for Stonefist just because, again, you know.
Yeah, please I just want to be cool once.
Yeah.
Just once.
You might crit and then it'll be really exciting. You met your target.
Okay,
so
I just met it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any... Yeah, anyway.
So, yeah. Do the other two, do you also throw hands?
Yeah.
I assume they're going to get violent after.
Well, after
You
that,
see,
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
What happens is...
What happened
was he pushed my mom, right?
Yeah.
And Phelan didn't like that. So I don't think there was no hesitation, Kana, while you saw Phelan take that handy dandy staff out of the strap on his back. And all he did was do like this really, you hear that elvish incantation. And you almost see, it's not an ice spell, but you see that kind of that coolness almost coming out of his breath. And he takes the staff and he digs it into the earth, and you see coming up just this boulder, this rock, that has this kind of magical sheen on it, just curl up and then hurl at the guy.
Amazing. Is your vocal component for those about to rock "We salute you" and then you just like
Yeah,
throw
but
it
in
at the person?
Elvish.
Okay, yeah,
But
in
in
Elvish,
Elvish.
in Elvish.
Sounds
Yeah,
cooler
yeah, yeah.
that way.
It's that really famous Elven song.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
AC Dalish.
Yeah.
Aw,
AC Danish.
thanks, producer Ben. Yeah, so that happens. If you want to act, you certainly can. Bev, if you want to
Yeah.
properly shoulder check
Yeah.
this guy for shoulder checking you absolutely can. You see a couple elves like itching to run in and actually start to approach and start shouting out, and now there's like this sort of like verbal kebab. There's a lot of people coming, especially because you'll notice a few of them. They're looking up to like where the walls are, and Phelan, you were told that there are people who watch when these guys go in here to make sure that nothing bad happens, so that there are witnesses, and you actually see people starting to swarm the area. They are not necessarily throwing punches, but it's almost like it's cover of like just creating a bit of chaos.
Yeah.
What would the other two like to do you think? Again, it doesn't have to be one isolated act, it can just be, this is how I want to help bring an end to this.
I do have the unarmed style of fighting. So
Incredible.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to pull like a Shiani and just pick up something and hit him over the head with it, or
Hell
like,
yeah.
hit the helmet to disorient them. That
Incredible.
Kind of stuff.
Boulder.
For
helmet.
DragonAge comedy, because we know that they love an improvised thing, especially when it involves cheese. What do you think you picked up? Or are you hitting them with?
Oh god, why did my brain immediately go to like a
Just
2x4?
wheel.
Like
A wheel, a big
throw it like
giant
a disc.
salami. It's a bit of
Yeah.
meat. Yeah. I want to smack him over the head with meat.
there's some like
It's
hanging
yesterday's
cured meat
baguette.
behind her.
Yeah. Excellent. Get the paddle out. Listen.
Oh wow.
It's not your paddle though, it's someone else's paddle, but it fits the
I
aesthetic.
think that's why my brain went for 2x4. It's just
Yeah,
like,
because
there's
you're
some-
busy.
Yeah,
This is just a
honestly-
makeshift paddle. Let's go. Very good. Yeah, so he shoulder checks you just in time for you to like clock this 2x4 that's leaning up against the building that Phelan was up against, and you're like,
or,
all
like, set it
right.
up so they like take a step and it smacks them in the face. Like
Yeah. Very good. And Kana, how are you contributing to this chaos?
Well, I would like to be on top of him and punching him.
Incredible.
I just wanna
get off from the top
specifically be like,
rope.
yeah, I mean, like, kind of, like, I just wanna. The vibe is that Kana is gonna say, "Man, sure would suck to get beat up for no reason," and use her gauntlets on him.
Well, you know, he clearly broke someone's jaw recently, so you can just return the
Yeah.
favor.
That's good.
Yeah. I love that. Chaos definitely ensues, especially with magic having been cast. You can hear now shouts and cries from the walls. One gate seems to open and some people start to charge at the gate, but people are coming through with weapons now. There's more guards coming into the area. A little bit of chaos. The elves are now throwing themselves at this to create like meat shields. It's chaos, and it's kind of like awful but also incredible to have brought some justice to this absolute shit state of a human being.
I just want you to know that there's just arcane lances, almost like lightning through a cloud, just like.
Yeah, I would say that like after that first spell, once it's clear that you're going to do it again, you guys will hear the sound of breaking. Is that clay, like pottery? And then suddenly the area starts to fill with smoke, which just slightly obscures, not to the point that you can't see what's going on, but enough to create a little bit of cover. And then like coming out of it is Rylan, yeah, who has like double daggers. He like spins them in his hands and holds them and be like, "This is great. You guys are gonna need to fuck off though, because they will catch you. You threw the first punch." And then he's gonna go and find somebody to shank.
I love that in a man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
me,
yeah.
the player talking.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
kind of Phelan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
that little bit of
Also
personality
kind of
in
for
there
all of us. Let's be
for
honest.
all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we all just have Phelan, Rylan as a boyfriend? It's like the group boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
all
it's
about
like when you get like a service in like the service puppies that are there for people with anxiety during exams in a school.
Yeah.
Like that's yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Emotional support, Rylan.
Emotional support, Rylan.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll kind of give you guys all the nod of thanks. But yeah, suggest that you guys need to GTFO
Yeah.
before anything else kind of comes down heavily on you guys, because the elves are already like they're already here on people's shit lists and they're clearly done. Um you would know of one way to exit would be the way that you came in if you can remember to retrace your steps.
Yeah.
Or you can try to
That
find a
would
different
be the best thing to try.
yeah.
Phelan's sleeving, cast one last arcane lance at a motherfucker, puts a middle finger up.
Yeah, I like the because he threw
Throws
down a
up so
smoke bomb
fast.
to kind of cover the fact that you guys are like throwing more stuff at these people, but also the use of magic.
Yeah.
We're now just seeing like arcane lance, like when you see lightning inside a storm cloud.
Yeah.
It's really
It
cool.
just like
Yeah.
lights up briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It lights up his like double birth lip
into the smoke.
into the smoke.
Incredible.
on their way out, Kana picks up a big tub full of full of hot water and dirty and like
Dirty
soapy
laundry water.
and just like
Yeah.
dumps it on a guy and
Yeah.
fucking like runs chasing after Bev like, don't forget your tub.
Just hit someone on the way by. Clothesline 'em.
There's that like that very satisfying thud sound of something the side of like a barrel like smacking
yeah.
against someone's head. It's a very
Especially when
different
it's
type of
hollow.
sound. Yeah. Dunk. Incredible.
I'm thinking of that water jug at one of the like university protests. I don't know if you heard the bomb
Yeah.
threat at the police officer.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much so. That sound
yeah.
is as you're now chasing after with the wash basin. But you guys are able to find it. It may take a little minute for you to be like, which wardrobe was it? And you open up one wardrobe and you're like, no, that's just not that one. And then you open the other, slide open the fake back door, and then slip your way out. Now, chaos ensued, and your faces were definitely seen throwing first punches at guards who will inevitably not have survived that.
Good.
But you're gonna make the escape. Maybe laying low is wise. Who knows?
Put him.
We know that you've disappeared off. At least the sun was setting. It is dark. If you find somewhere for the night to lay low, we will establish where you have gone later. But for now, we're going to pause. We're going to take a break. And then we're going to go and see what our two rogues have been up to in the second half, everybody. Thank you for staying with us in the first half. We all managed to find our words after a shaky start to the session. We're going to take 10 minutes to hydrate and for me to collect a few more brain cells that I might need for the second half. And we will see you in 10. Bye, everyone. Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I hope you are rested. We mostly rested and ate cake like it was pizza. We are in our second half. We have left our Denirim trio behind, having got some revenge against a very horrible guard who's been doing horrible things to the elves. We are now with two rogues who had been a good day-ish away, visiting Oriana's mother, and got a note. I wonder, I don't know if you have access to it, or but I feel like just to set the mood right, should we revisit what the note said?
Did you DM it to
I
me?
have it. You
Oh,
both
Yeah, I was
have
like,
it,
we both
so,
have it.
yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh,
uh,
of course you do.
I am happy to read it unless one of you two wanted to do it.
Just have to find it because we.
Well,
talk a lot.
here, there you go.
If you
Go.
want to copy
I
it,
have
to
it.
me.
It's right there. There you are.
Oh, I got
Just
you.
to
then.
remind
I can
everybody
do
about
that.
why we are feeling the way that we are feeling. And why we're
Yes.
moving with some haste.
With very seething rage last time. Or, to remind everyone, stomped out of her family home, grabbed a few of her favorite things. And due to a note from her patron, which read, "I need you to know your actions led to this. I didn't want to have to resort to this. You know where she will be. You are free to come see her." But now that I'm reading it again, I'm very angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Yeah. Should be angry. It's highly manipulative.
It sounds really pleasant, to be honest.
Uh-huh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think even along the way, because essentially Oriana just didn't even say anything, just we're going back to Denirim, and shoved the note at Aranan. And on the way out, just if anyone was around, she would have just asked, you know, what did they look like? They look like they were dragging her away, that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Nobody seemed to see anything.
Anything, yeah. On the way back, that like I don't honestly like it takes like a day or two normally, and I think Oriana at this point is just full on sprinting. Like we are not stopping. Along the way, Aranan, you were going to get a description of what Bryce Calden looks like, how he is, like he's smart,
Do it.
yeah, non-empathetic. He's a merchant, and like just it's rattling off facts and the layout of the house too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a merchant wanker.
Yeah.
What does he look like?
So Bryce Calden, Oriana's, it's not patron. That's not the word I'm looking for, but she was the ward of him.
Yeah.
He's honestly as average can be. He's average height, balding hair, like balding hairline. Definitely more rounder around the middle. Just nothing special.
Remember what I said about those mediocre straight white men? I feel like
Yeah.
Definitely 5'7.5".
Yes, exactly. In fact, 3/4 if you want to really be precise about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay. All right, so you guys do definitely make with haste. You're going to get back to Denirim a lot quicker than when you left it. It is towards nighttime when you do finally arrive. And I would like to know what your approach is going to be. You know the layout of this home, but you also know, given the way that that letter was worded, he is laying in wait for you.
Yeah.
Taking him by surprise is not necessarily going to be possible here.
And I think we're kind of outside the home, like in Denirim. And I have a very strong feeling that Aranan also knows the back roads of Denirim. I'm in places side, so we're probably closeted away somewhere. Just Oriana's in your face. Okay. So he has dogs. He has guards. Usually. I can only assume by now that he knows how I got out of there. So the usual path probably won't work. I mean, servants' quarters probably the best way. I don't know, but that would be my guess.
Before we go in, I've never told you what you should or shouldn't do, and I'm not going to start now. But from this moment, there's no going back. And I need you to know, I'll stick with you through anything.
Thank you. The main thing is I just want to get my mom out. Now, if I can get him, that would be great. He certainly deserves it. It's his fault I haven't talked to my mother in 5 years. So.
Do you think there's any way I can be a distraction? Clear a path for you?
Yeah. To be honest, you kind of look like my mother. She's got long black hair too. I figure the best way, we just try to be as quiet as possible. We can do that. My mom's trained hunter. She should have no problem doing it.
Okay, so if we take the alleyways, get there, and then you can perhaps show me the outside of the property a little bit before we go in.
Yeah, of course. And in fact, even in the dirt, I think she's kind of just marking the walls of the house. I don't know what they are anymore. The rooms, he might have shifted things. Honestly, I'm not even sure where he'd really keep my mom. Kind of curious how he got her there.
Is he a man of habit? Is there any... If he wants to humiliate her, for example, like where would he put her? Or is he the
There
kind
is
of
a-
person that...
God. There's a real shift in her face. Bryce Calden is not necessarily a super cruel or outwardly mean man. He's more of a trick you into your own thing. He probably put her in my room.
Chances are she's under some kind of house arrest and it's like the guise of being free.
Yeah,
Treat you well.
honestly, my best guess is, hey, you want to see your daughter? It's been so long. That would be my best guess.
That's as good a place as any to start, I guess.
Yeah. And she'll mark on the dirt where her room was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you get the impression that the way that the note was, and the fact that he hasn't done this before, this is pointed, and it's you it's directed at. If he's going to have any kind of emotional impact with what he's doing, it is for you, not necessarily for her.
Yeah. That's getting her there by saying she could see me. I think that's what he would do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If there's any like scrap paper I have, I'm gonna write a message on it and just get ready to use it.
Yeah.
His note.
Hmm?
The back of his note.
You know what?
Scratch
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Like on the back of it, it just has just one question, and she's gonna fold it up and just.
Okay.
We'll get him.
Yeah. All right. So, when it comes to the city, this is a large, city. Sorry, just let the ASL going. Fuck you. Walled city. It's there's a lot of people, a lot of guards here. Not necessarily that nothing you're doing right now is illegal. It's not like you would be suspicious just walking into the city, but I would like to know your approach for getting into the city, potentially onto the grounds, and what your approach is for getting into the building. We'll deal with that part right now.
Bryce Calden has Mabari. He's a man of wealth in Ferelden. He sent them after me before. So taking scraps, like I've had scraps of the hood that she wears, the clothes that she has, they're all scraps from his house.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the nicer, finer things she used to wear, like Orlesian silks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to use those to place away from them so the dogs can sniff and alert elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
mm-hmm.
we will sneak in through servants' quarters that are definitely hidden. You know, no noble wants to look at that.
Yeah.
And stick to shadows.
So you lay a little trap almost.
Yeah.
Or to lure the dogs away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I'd like is using whatever skill you feel, and this can be either of you because this is something the two of you are preparing. Make a roll to see how well that works, so that once there is a trigger point, if this part of the problem is dealt with or not.
I will assume, I take it to start with, we're both stealthing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we want, quiet entry. I might go into, like, distraction mode if things are needed, but for now I think we'll just try and be as quiet as possible.
Yeah, because we're
Absolutely.
laying down a scented trail.
Oh, God. Sakaya, sorry, go ahead. That's a beautiful roll.
No.
Yeah. bits of fabric that smell like you in a direction that is not where you're actually going to lay distraction for the dog. So that was our first step. And the 21 will take care of that. So you're pretty sure that the direction that you've laid this in, it's in places where people are not necessarily going to pick these up and move them before it is time. They're well enough hidden, but accessible enough for the dogs if they are trying to trace your scent.
Yeah. And even probably leave one that can be seen, and that would be recognizable.
Okay.
Just because I do want him to know that I am here.
Yeah. Tell Cersei it was me. Okay, so yeah, you.
I wonder whether I cover us both in like my perfume now to really try and mask your smell.
I was gonna say because she is covered in dirt, obviously, but absolutely, yeah.
But specifically, I mean,
100%.
Arana didn't put any perfume on this morning, so we can lay this kind of trap now. But now, if we kind of like cake ourselves in it,
That, and especially my mom, whenever we find her, okay. I mean, it's gonna be seen at that point, maybe, but just as we run.
Okay. Now, that trail has been left. You're pretty happy that the dogs will have been taken care of. And Mabari hounds they would have created a problem for you trying to get away unseen because they will make noise and track you. So, now we have to deal with getting into the building itself.
In my mind, if we can stick to the shadows and get to the servants' quarters, I'm assuming things like kitchens and other things, like serviceable areas would be around there, and like
So you're
waiting
trying to find a
closet,
door
that
that
kind
would
of
take you to the because it's the getting into the building in the first place.
Yes.
This place has probably got people that are patrolling. It's one of those quest lines that DragonAge is good at, and quite a few games are, where there's like people who are patrolling, so you're gonna have to do the whole laying in wait. Wait for an appropriate moment where somebody has just turned around enough that you're confident you've got enough time to get to where you need to go to try and get in. So your entry point is servants area.
Yes.
Okay. How are you going to deal with any people that you find in there? Because there are probably people working.
Yeah. Trying to decide would Oriana, because I think Oriana would be kind enough to them that they wouldn't mind her. But yeah, go ahead.
just wondering what the walls were like in terms of trellises and trailing plants and that kind of thing. In case there was a way of skipping a floor.
Because he's a Ferelden nobleman certainly, but with enough willingness to lean on what the Orlesians consider, signs of wealth. In a way, it's why you were dressed in Orlesian silk, and other things. That yeah,
We're just staring at it like,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Those roses. So using those for an entry point is certainly an option.
We can try it. Yeah. I don't think the servants would give me away.
Okay. So, climbing up this and doing it in a way that is subtle, without making a sound, is going to be tricky. It doesn't have to be stealth, because I wouldn't want us always using stealth for all the things that we're doing, but considering what you would like to employ for getting up without being seen and heard, and then finding this entry point and perhaps getting in without people seeing you. So I understand that stealth applies here.
Well, I was going to say, I do have acrobatics as well.
Yeah, acrobatics could definitely work.
Yeah.
Could I argue a nature law to note the best kind of plant that might be the most robust to climb? I ain't got nothing else.
Sure. Yeah.
We're not going to want to go up a Virginia creeper. That stuff's just going to come straight off. We need
Yeah. Or like in this season, some of them are actually going to have leaves that are a little dried, and it will make that sort of like, the rattling sound of dry leaves. Yeah. Sure. I appreciate a barter. I'm a yes and kind of gal. 12 is not great for your acrobatics, by the way.
No, it's not.
Oh, and that's...
I'm aware. looking at it.
Wait a second, there aren't any plants.
Yeah.
It's winter. Yeah.
What I will say is that when you get up and over the top, there was enough noticeable sensory things happening with you getting up there that when you get up onto the ledge and the sort of like balcony area that you've arrived at, somebody has swung around a corner to come double back on themselves to come and check. You are going to be faced with 2 guards. As a consequence of the rolls, I would like to know how you plan on dispatching them in a way that will be quick and efficient, but not alert anyone else to what's going on. What do? You have to think quick.
Since I
Could
not
I
to
go?
get too graphic. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, whatever you're going to say, but I was wondering if I could just go very confidently towards them, like quickly to sort of block Oriana and, not block you, sorry, like as in hide
No,
the fact
I
that
know
you're
what you
there.
mean.
And act very much like I'm supposed to be here, but I only need it to work for a few seconds before Oriana
So you're drawing their senses, their vision, like what they're looking at to you, so that they don't see Oriana doing what she's going
Oh,
to do.
thank
Okay.
God, I'm completely lost and
Oriana is going to do what Oriana does best
Yeah.
in Pillbug and just get low, get quiet, and just
Get low,
scuttle.
get low.
Yep. And take out both the knives that she has.
Yeah.
And not to be too graphic with this, but there's some interesting points from here to here that
Yeah.
control speech.
Yeah.
And they don't need them anymore.
Yeah. I'd
And,
really rather you didn't make a sound right now.
Yeah, that's just not okay for me. And then especially if they're standing close together, just
Yeah.
they get just
Double
right
whacked.
at 45.
So what I'm going to say
below.
is I would like you to roll for attack. Well, first of all, we're going to do our I'll just use the stats for these bandits.
should I roll to like as a help action in terms of what I'm
Well,
doing?
no. So you don't need to roll for it. I'm going to give Oriana +2 because their senses have been pulled away from
okay.
what they're doing. So you're just more likely to succeed. But what I'd like you to do is roll it is stealth for you and perception for them for your backstab, right?
Yes.
So I will roll for that just to see if this helps. We're not going to do like damage rolls necessarily. It's just to see if we're being successful. But perception, it's not great. So if
Say
you can roll me a
myself.
stealth, yeah,
Absolutely.
because the backstab is going to
17.
absolutely nail it.
Yes.
So what I'm going to say is whatever you do is going to take out both guards because you're able to go in and just like really smoothly,
I think you even hear Aranan just a very quiet as she passes you, because in my mind she's just scuttling right up behind you, and then as quick gets around you and gets in front of you, and you just hear as she passes, catch them so that they don't fall and make a noise, and just straight up right 45.
Smooth. All right, can you roll for an attack? This is just to
Yes.
see how good you do. This is where you're going to get to add the +2
Gotcha.
from the distraction.
And I use the aim action in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you are
15.
technically aiming at something quite specifically.
am.
15
with your
definitely
+2.
beats. Yeah, it beats there. So you silence them quickly. And the funny thing is about the part of the body that helps silence people, it also is very good at unaliving them. So
Yes.
you they unalive themselves, and then Iranan, now you have 2 armored guards.
I
So I
mean,
think between the
I
2
would
of you,
like-
this is
try.
I think I would like to basically. So this look, by the way, is because Aranan has never taken a life, but she was fully aware that may happen today. So
yeah.
don't anger the hawk.
Yep.
She's put the right paint on to appease. But I think she just goes fully forward. Oh, darling, Bryce Calden is going to have me locked up. And then and she'll just
wet girls.
and I think it's just like arterial spray, just
Yeah.
and she like drops them
Sorry.
both
Well,
to the ground.
Tried to just go center mass. It's fine.
But yeah, 2 at once. There might be a little bit of. It's fine. So you're
Oh,
gonna
don't get me
have
wrong.
to,
It's
like,
recovered. I'm sorry.
yeah. It's not gonna be graceful or easy because they're heavy. I imagine Oriana, you're gonna have to at least try to control
gonna
the
grab
falling of
one,
one of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can I
So at
argue
least
that Aranan's dealt with dead weight men.
Yeah. And like it's I'll bet she has. Ultimately, all you're really needing to do is catch them enough that the knees buckle so that they do the crumpling down
Yeah,
rather than
exactly,
the
and
falling down.
She just sort of drops
so
with them.
as soon as you guys kind of at least get a hold to like stop the timber falling, they'll buckle down. You can kind of control the down, and it's not the smooth, because everything else has been really smooth. It's not smooth to like look at, but it does exactly what you need it to do. They do not land heavily. So
She kind of drops them and she's like, I'm sorry, but you work for a shit. And then she gets up.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they weren't nice. Can I very quickly scan if they have any type of keys or anything like that?
A little bit of a search. What I will say is if you can roll an investigation, you are going to find something, but I'd like to see, because if you roll really well, I'll give you extra things, basically.
That's in perception?
Yes.
Okay.
There is an
I rolled great. All right. I didn't see shit.
Good, so
Do you
good.
want me
Definitely
to
nothing.
look
Yeah.
too? I mean, we're
These
both
two
here,
were
right?
these are the guys that are out at night patrolling a wall. So clearly they're like, you know, in terms of the pecking order, they were lower down.
Yeah.
You don't find a lot.
Sorry. You found air. Thanks. All right.
Yeah.
Well, not in them. Haha. All right.
Yeah,
An
you
8 and a
saw to
7.
that.
What is wrong?
Yeah.
That was a little dark. Okay, anyway. And the thing is, I didn't want to go, I don't want to waste time here, just if they have it.
Exactly. If it made things easier, then great, but
yeah,
they did not, so it's fine. So yeah, you have handled this situation.
Dispatched.
Yeah. You can now. Are we going now that we're up here? Are we going trying to find window, going in door? How are you going to approach getting
Story
in?
mummy.
Yes.
What is up here?
This is a
Are we
balcony.
we're on a balcony.
Yeah,
Is it
but there's clearly
large?
some manner of walkway. So this is like slightly built out in that, like in the summer months, you could probably put a little bit of seating out here. But there is a walkway around this level because there were some guards up here. So you could keep going around that area. The space that you're in, whatever is in there is dark. There's no lights on in the spaces ahead of you, whatever rooms they are. Oriana, you would kind of clock in that you think that this is perhaps a library that's at this side of the building.
I'm just worried about we're on a clock now because if any other guards find these guards.
Yeah,
Indeed.
actually, if we can get in the library, that's not a bad idea. That's where he keeps all his letters and everything.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I don't want to spend too much time there, but, you know, wouldn't be bad to have some collateral. But I'm going to try to jimmy a window open, basically.
Yeah. So you can go and it's not locked, but opening a window when there's not a handle on this side can be a little hard. So you can just use a dagger to like get in and
I've
just
got my
create enough
knife.
of a and just wedge part of it open, get your fingers in, and then pull the rest of it, and it'll swing open enough that the two of you, being slight little slinky things, will be able to slip your way inside this window.
Yes. And if it is the library, the thing is, Oriana's been taught not necessarily how to unalive people in the bard of that sense of this story, but she's been taught how to dance, how to listen, how to eavesdrop, how to get places where she shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Is essentially what he taught her. So if his desk is here, which, I mean, it should be, she's just going to pop open a little area where he keeps letters.
And I'm going to head straight to the library door, open
So-
it a crack, and keep an eye on the corridor.
Yeah. So you can go and just keep an eye. I would say that without making you roll for this, you can hear some muffled sounds of talking. Two deeper voices seem male. That are this level down a corridor more to the right. Yeah. So, and you're going and you're popping the lock.
Yeah, and in fact, one of the knives she has is actually his letter opener, so she's gonna use that and just pop it.
poetic. Yeah, so you can go and just get it, and you know that like getting it from the lock part is not necessarily easy, but if you can get it in from underneath and you jimmy it and then lift it enough to like get up and over the locking mechanism, you would be able to do that. So you're able to open that up, sure.
If there's any like letters, correspondence, she's honestly not even going to like dig through it. She's going to just kind of swipe and not even attempt to really lock it back, but just close it enough where you would have to double check to see if it was open.
Okay.
And put just letters in her bag.
Yeah. Instead of lingering through them, you can just kind of grab a bunch, hope that there's something incriminating or useful, one of the two, or both, and slip those in. Yeah, absolutely. Just get that
and
closed
then
again.
Join
Yeah,
Aranan again.
I've got a kind of finger to my lips, just to warn you that there is someone out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you recognize the voice?
It's a good question. Do I recognize the voices?
No. There's a funny thing about people who have quite deep voices. When it's low and muffled enough, there's just a sound that it's difficult to hear. As somebody who has to teach teenage boys who are usually at peak mumbling what they're saying, nightmare. can't hear what they're saying. Can't hear it at all. So you kind of still hear what they're saying, but you know that they're deep. In terms of the who,
You recognize the feeling in your diaphragm.
yeah, not sure from here. If you saw their faces, you might be able to clock and figure out who it is. But you know that the people that work for him are pretty fucking loyal. So, and you can only imagine that they are laying in wait for you.
And I would imagine the way that I at least envision Bryce, he doesn't really have a deep voice.
No.
Yeah, no. Okay. So
It's like annoyingly nasal. Not that there's anything wrong with people who have nasal voices, but there is such a thing as like annoyingly nasal, and I think we can all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm very quietly, as quiet as I can, going to tell her Ronan, it's not Bryce. And then kind of motion a little bit and remind you where her room would be.
Yeah.
Like where we're going when we get out of here.
Yeah. In your mind, how close was your room to the library?
Probably not too far away, because that was the lie that Bryce told her to lure her here. You would learn, you could become a scholar, this library you can share. That was the hook that got Oriana here.
And is yours to the right where those voices are here, or away from that?
I would love to stay away, but probably not.
We can roll for it if you like. Let
Sure.
the dice decide. Why don't we do evens, it's away, odds, it is towards.
Okay. I'll roll a d6 after that.
Sure. It is evens.
Oh, it's evens again! Okay.
Yeah, you're good. That was away.
Blacked out
All
and
right,
forgot what you said
so-
it was.
Yeah, so you'll be able to move away from where those voices are. You will still have to be very quiet. I would suggest that we roll. It can be stealth, but if you feel there's something else that you're trying to do in terms of making your way to that room, some type of perception roll and seeing, tracking, searching, that kind of thing could also be an option for signs of life for your mother. It's
I
your
will
call
do
what you guys want to do.
acrobatics and make sure I go first, because knowing who Oriana is, she definitely snuck around when she wasn't supposed to.
You figured out the parts
tries-
that creak and which parts don't.
Yep. And
I was going to say
toe
that.
heel, not
Yeah.
heel toe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I was going to suggest I stay a little bit behind in case those voices come. I'll do the similar kind of thing, but
Yeah.
gotcha.
watching
Uh,
where you tread.
Oof,
17.
17. Wonderful. Yeah, so
Fine.
you'll be able to track as well, Oriana. Although you are, back and dealing with, you can be listening to where that is, but visually you'll be watching where Oriana is
Yes,
doing
yeah,
her
yeah,
steps.
it's
And
very
yeah.
much-
Oh, and just as a note, Oriana has been going behind and closing things. So like the window she jimmied, the drawer, the
Yeah.
library thing, just making sure we close up where we were.
Sure. Now,
And I run on his barefoot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Grand.
as usual.
So, yeah, perfect for these kind of missions. So we have library. We can head towards where the bedrooms are. I would say that the direction that they're in leads to more where Bryce's rooms may be. And there's one of those areas that's like, it's like the main room. It's not really a hall because this place is not huge to the point that it's like a castle or a keep with a grand main hall. But there is a space that is central with some balcony access that leads to the other side of the house that perhaps you can either go back the way you came, but you know that you left bodies there. So if you're trying to get the other way, you may have to go around and across a balcony access, because I fucking love when we have to do that in games with your creeper, especially in Mass Effect. That one where you're like crawling around. I don't know if any of you guys are Mass Effect fans, but when you have to follow the guy and be unseen, love that shit. So you may have to do that with Mother in tow as well.
Yeah.
Without knowing what stage she's in.
She's a hunter. She can do it.
Oh yeah.
I have full faith in Mom.
Okay. So we are cleverly putting down our feet. We're being very silent. We can hear those voices. You can now hear, especially Irana, because you were paying attention for this. When everything else is so quiet, you can feel the shifting of direction, especially with the sounds of voices, and now there's footsteps being added. They are moving around at this level. Not necessarily coming in your direction, but they're moving, which means they could make their way around. And you're able to get to where your door is. Oriana, currently it seems locked and shut.
I try a
Trying
hairpin.
to control the rage. Sorry, go ahead.
I try a hairpin.
1 moment. If there's any space at the bottom of the door, she's going to use the good knife. That's not a letter opener. That's really ornate. Can I see anything underneath there?
So you're going to
Like,
slip the blade under?
No, what I'm trying to do is if the door's here, use the knife like underneath it and reflect. So if I can see any feet or anything, if possible. Because I mostly just want to see if there's people in there and how many there are.
Okay. Sure. Roll me a perception check. I am going to take one away from this, though, because this is a very difficult thing that you are doing.
Yep.
1 is generous.
Yeah, great. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
You can see
It worked
nothing.
really well.
Mostly you're trying to get the angle right, and as you're doing it, it's like at one
Should I
point
take my
you
hands
catch
off your
like
eyes?
some
What the hell?
candlelight and the
This is totally
skirts
working,
over your
thank
head. You're not making out anything. This angle is not helping. Whatever area of this room that you're looking into is not giving you any useful information.
Okay. I think I'm gonna just look at you, Irana, and not really say much, just yeah, I think what you can tell is there's trying to just hold on to that rage and not let it just, kick the door down kind of thing. And there's a real mix of fear too with it. Just
I'll give your arm a little squeeze. I can see the tension. I'm going to take a hairpin out and I'm going to look for Oriana's benefit as if I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been around. I've definitely seen.
I feel like, we're gonna roll, and either it's gonna be great, or we're gonna get what everybody feels, and that joke about early stages of Dragon Age, with sending your rogues up to a chest, and then you get a little insufficient skill, insufficient box take. You're a rogue. This is what you're meant to do. Not happening. Okay, Zevran, fuck off. Can you?
to be fair, I'm sure Bryce is used to me bumping locks, so
Yeah, exactly.
We got this.
It lives in dexterity, for lockpicking, which is a skill.
I'll just roll dexterity then because I don't have it yet.
Pray for the dice gods. Hey, thank you, dice gods.
Thank you, dice gods.
Yeah, a 19. You're able to kind of get in, and it's lucky that there does seem to be light at the other side of this door, which means that you've got light coming through the keyhole, which just makes it that little bit easier. Because doing it when it's a dark room on the other side means it's just a little bit harder. But you're able to get it in and feel where the latch of the mechanism is to lift up, and then take another hairpin to then get in and get the other part and just jingle it. And eventually you will.
Like Aranan gives you that little squeeze, like Don't worry, don't worry. I've got this. And when I actually hear the click, I turn away from Oriana and just like.
It's the fact that it works and you look up and it's like a part of you wants to be like, oh my fucking god, it worked.
Yeah. And then I look back all calm and I'm like, okay.
Professional.
Oriana will kind of not put the knives away, but hide them just a little bit, just in case. Yeah. But yeah, she's like, no, I'm just kidding. But on the inside, she's like, yay!
You're doing great, sweetie.
I think she's a little too angry and sad at this moment.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
on the inside,
Absolutely. We as players can be thinking it.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the door is unlocked.
I will go first.
Okay.
Ranan is I'm going to reach under my skirts and take the knife from my thigh because I am actually just feeling like I do need to be armed at this point.
Okay. So our two are a little bristled. Do you have a weapon out, Oriana?
Yeah, got the knife in my right hand and the left hand. I put what is my throwing knife is the letter opener. It is tucked away.
A gift to you, I would say, is that you're aware of the store. You know how it works. And in order to do this quietly, you know that, like, with the handle, you want to lift the handle slightly just to take the pressure off the hinges.
Yep.
And
That's exactly
open it
what I'm gonna
slowly
do.
so it doesn't
Just-
creak. And then let
Yep.
it go again. It's like a part of you almost like instinctively is like, and open the door. And then you're like, wait, I know this door.
Yep.
And it
That's
goes.
exactly what she does.
Okay.
I see you've
so-
also snuck around houses, Emalu. Okay, anyway.
So you get the door open. The two of you are able to slip inside. There is light in there, so like as you open it, you feel the light sort of like going onto both of your faces and out into the corridor. And you go in, the pair of you, with your knives out. And what you see is, at first, feels like an empty room. And that's a little like, oh, fuck. But as you step in, you become aware first of movement, and then there's like a pause, which causes you to turn around. This moment where like the two of you with your blades, and then you see your mother, and like doing that sort of like the focus is on her. Soft focuses to look at background where there is a chair with a leg that's been broken off of it, goes back to her as she's holding a broken bit of wood as a weapon.
Oh.
Ready to
And-
clock whoever was coming in this room. And then there's like a moment where she recognizes you and she goes, what the fuck?
And I think Oriana just drops the knife completely and just pill bugs her way in.
Yeah.
Ranan
to
picks
grab
it
her.
up.
Yeah. There's a slight clang where like everybody sort of like freezes slightly, but she's too focused on the fact that you're here and she's just gonna pull you in for one of those like mum like big tight big hug.
I'm gonna cry. Ugh.
Still holding a bit of wood while she does it.
I don't even think words come out. I think she's just sobbing a little bit, just relief of just and that that little scared kid thing where you just like smell your mom's hair. You're just like
Yeah. And she's holding you with that sort of intense a tight grip, but it is those tight grips that just hold you together in that moment, keeps you upright. Relief from her as well, a little confusion, but mostly just because this whole thing is fucked up. And then like notices you, your runner, and is just like, and then that seems to pull her back into the where we currently are, and she's gonna move back, but like hold hands on either side of your upper arms around it to still hold you with a grip that again it is tight for comfort and support, not tight as in like a
yeah.
grip.
What are you doing? No.
Yeah.
And I think there's kind of a moment where Oriana kind of goes, wait, like, oh, obviously it's me, because they haven't seen each other in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I would recognize that face anywhere.
Yeah. I got choked up a little bit. Sorry.
It's fine. What are you
Sorry,
doing
Mom.
here? You shouldn't be here.
It's okay.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't either.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you out, okay?
Okay.
I think as they embrace, just that little moment, and then when they sort of pull apart, Aranan swelled up a little bit as well. But Oriana said, like, you know, you look a bit like my mother, same hair and everything. Aranan has been assessing how closely she does look like height-wise, hair,
Okay.
from behind in particular.
Okay.
Yeah. And
mhm. You can. I mean, I'm more than happy for you to take the reins. She's gonna look a little unkempt at the moment.
Just needs to be passable. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
y'all are, because now remind me, is Arana taller than me? I think I'm the tallest. Oriana
we-
is 5'7"-ish.
I'm
Is
5'7".
Oriana? Okay, so we're about the same height.
5'7", not 5'7.5".
Yeah. You know, just
No,
accept
no,
the
but
fact
the
that
thing
we're
is-
at 5'7". Yeah.
We're all about the same height then. So you
Yeah.
two do actually, like, y'all would look familiar or similar, like we could kind of all be related kind of thing. But Oriana's freckles she definitely got from her mom. So her mother has freckles all over her face. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Aranan steps forward and she's like, it is so lovely to meet you, and well, I would love to know everything, but right now I need your clothes, and I'm already like starting to shuck my dress off.
What? What?
Mom,
What is
just
going
trust
on?
us.
What is happening? No. What?
No, we're gonna get you out of here.
I'm going to be
Okay.
you.
He's. That's.
I think at this point, with her not responding, literally Oriana's just gonna go take her shawl off and
Okay. Oh.
Like, yeah, the dress is just on the floor now, and there's a moment, and then Arana's like, please.
like she's just doing it. Like, Mom, just trust us, okay? I know it's weird. It's fine.
Okay. There's so much. There's so many guards. There's just the three of us. How are we? I have a chair leg.
2 of them are gone. It's fine. And then look, it's fine. We don't have to fight them all. We just have to get out. Missed you.
I've missed you too.
I'm also
I am so sorry. I just want to say that now in case anything happens.
nothing's gonna happen. It's fine. And I think Oriana's trying
Yeah,
not to
yeah.
just
yeah. She said it like she'll
Yeah.
pass it on and start putting on the.
I'm going to take the piece of wood away from her as well and give her my dagger,
Are you okay?
just in case.
I am now.
Is she hurt in any way, shape, or form?
You can roll me a perception check. Peep that.
Oh, is there any point?
Better be high. I'm threatening the dice at this point. You better fucking let me know this. 12. Threatening
alright.
again later, dice.
It's okay. She.
I mean, if we're swapping clothes, then you get a
Yeah.
chance of looking.
Yeah. She looks. She's not necessarily being manhandled, but there's a couple of there's like scratches, and an injury, sort of at the knuckles on one of her hands. So you could assume at some point, whether it was coming here or being put in this room, or since the having to sit around here, she's clearly clocked someone and had a bit of a scrap.
Hell yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And I think because Oriana's desperately looking for something to reorient herself to, not
Yeah.
just be in this mode of blah, like, and sit in it.
Yeah.
So she kind of uses that just, all right. Yeah, we're going to get out of here. Okay.
Are you sure? There are a lot of people here, and they know that you're. How did you manage to get in here?
Well, the full story can be later. Hunting techniques?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that later, right?
Yeah, of course.
You
But
two,
I will say he does know I'm here. Probably.
Well, I figured I've been locked in this room. Why did he do this?
I think the short answer right now is that he lied. He lied to us. And he was trying to make me some lordling's wife that I didn't want to do.
Good. I am sorry for believing him. I really
Me too,
thought.
Mom.
Okay. We can talk about this later.
And that's like, because the crying is coming back, and I think
Uh-huh.
Ariana just, with, you know, her little, like,
Yeah.
pill buggy fingers, just grabs her mom's hands and looks at her knuckles for a little bit of a moment of too long. Yeah, we've got this. Trying to well up the tears again, just in, or
And I'll
blockade
say
them.
that as a signifier that that little hand thing is something that you've done and that perhaps there's a purpose to it, is that as you do it and you're holding onto her hands or looking at her knuckles, she lifts yours to kiss both of yours. It's probably something she's done before.
100%, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Honestly, I even think when she's there, Oriana just, she does this thing where she puts her forehead on her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
there's
right, Mom,
there's
are you
little
ready?
parts of Oriana's behavior I think that start to make sense the longer that she's with her. Yeah, sure. I'm Tiger. Okay. Right. And she kind of goes over and she starts like pulling things together, and she takes takes a candlestick as well, and it's like, okay. All right, let's go.
So just to
Um,
complete this, I think
yeah.
if we've swapped our clothing, I'm going to spray a bit of my perfume on Mum,
Mm-hmm.
and then I am going to like go to her bedding and kind of like rub it on me. So if the dogs, I want the dogs, if they're going to smell us, to go for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Arana, like, before we leave, because Oriana's absolutely going first, 100%, no argument. Just takes a moment, kind of looks at you, and just a very emphatic thank you. I don't even think she says anything. Just, yeah, just the look in her eyes. Yeah,
We need to
it's
go.
very much a pleading thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Because she's trying not to just outwardly sob or make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But Oriana will again pick up the door. Like once she turns it very quietly, picks up the door and starts looking out.
Okay. All right. So you guys will start to make your way out and back into this corridor. You can hear voices that are moving around. They clearly have a bit of a route and a pace. So you're gonna have to wait until you know that they've passed the area that you will have to move through, Oriana.
Yeah.
Because you know, you can tell the direction that they're going in.
Not gonna lie, getting flashbacks to like episode 1 or 2 when the Darkspawn were running and she was hiding in the shadows waiting for him to go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about timing.
Yep.
But once you know that you're pretty comfortable, you guys can all make your way and head towards that area. Now I'm assuming, again, like I said, you're heading for the opposite side of this house to get out and down.
Yes.
Rather than going back the way you came.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to be coming out into an area that is very well lit, but you are in a balcony area, so sticking to the walls is going to be important.
Yep.
as you're doing it, you can tell that you're going to have to be swift about this, because this is likely a part of the route that they take. They don't necessarily go all the way around the balcony, but they come out and around to like at least clock the top of this area. You're going to have to be...
They've been distracted and then go, oh shit, what's this? Then go see mom, knows mom is gone. And
it's possible that
What
their
I'm
route
hoping
may
for.
take them out to find the others, yeah.
Find the breadcrumbs. Where are they
Sure.
gone?
Yeah. So there's going to be a few trigger points here. Mostly what you need to do is clear this area before the guards come to this area and actively see you here. You're going to have to stick to the wall because you can tell there are people down in that area. There is a good 5 or 6 people. Some are just at the wall, but there's 2 or 3 that are standing around this area where there is seating and a table. And you can hear that voice down there. Now, you can't necessarily get eyes on him right now because you're against the wall. The whole point is that you're not visible, because if you can see him, he could see you. You know that he is down there.
So angry.
Yeah.
But gotta get mom out first. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or at least guaranteed get out.
Yeah. Sure.
As much as she wants to, she's going to go for a window to get us out. Like, but there's a definite moment where Oriana just pauses. And just, you can see, like, the rage is there, the shoulders tighten. Just, no, we gotta leave. Let's get
It's enough for you, Irana, to figure out without words needing to be said that the man who did this is down there. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to make a noise at all. If Oriana looks at me, which I don't think she would in this state, I'm just like, it'll be that kind of anything to get her to focus on me and just continue. But hopefully she will anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I am definitely going to need a stealth roll. This is definitely stealth.
Seduction.
Oh, there you go. Well, 14 does it do it?
Same again, but not quite.
That's okay.
I'm
It's
sweating.
not
Alright.
great. Yeah. I
Quite a
think what it
21.
is that you guys worry. You get most of the way over, and that stealth roll is not necessarily that you've done anything to create a sound, but you can tell they're about to clock you guys up here.
High alert. Yeah.
So if the priority is to just leave, you may have to run, which might then alert that something's happened, to at least avoid being seen. Or doing something drastic while you're here. Basically, you're either going to have to pick up the pace and go, sacrificing stealth for speed of exit, or commit to something right here and right now.
Is there? What's the indication that we know? Does someone say, like, what's that, or anything, or?
Yeah, I think is that you can
Exclamation
you can hear,
mark.
Yeah. You can hear footsteps. There's like a red light that just seems to like emanate from them, and you can see it starting to come around the corner. No,
Yeah.
like, but you're like, oh no, I'm almost in their line of sight. No, it's probably that where they are, those corridors are a little darkly lit, and they know that what they're dealing with is or could be rogues, and so rogues in Dragon Age can go very, very, very stealthy if they're stealth rogues. So they use light to at least create bright areas to avoid shadows, to avoid hiding spots, so you can see the light of a torch about to approach the doorway that you guys just left on the other side.
I think with a hand gesture, it's just going to be go.
Yeah, just go.
But-
I think.
But I want those two. I'm going to be like a few paces behind, so that if we get seen, it's like, I don't know. It's more important to get her out. But
Well, what I would do is put mom first. I'm just gonna grab
Yeah,
mom
yeah.
and shove her in front of me, and tell her like with verbal like left, right, and look at you around and just, if you could be behind me. So that way, if we need to shove mom in another direction and we run another way, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because y'all have swapped. Yeah.
So you pick up pace. Either way, if they were to see you running, sure, mum will actually get out, but it will then put high alert, and then everyone would then
Oh no, absolutely.
called to
I mean,
action.
we don't
Yeah.
want to be seen, but what
Yeah.
I suppose what I'm saying is like they may go for the mum
Yeah.
Yeah.
because oh no, look, mum's escaped. And
It's not mum they're looking for. It's Oriana.
Well, and that's the chess piece, though, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at the
yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
we don't know if they know that she's been taken away, but still.
But basically, if we can just not have eyes on actual mom, if possible. But yeah. So yeah, Oriana's just gonna grab her mother and shove her forward. And I mean, if we gotta break that window at this point, we will. But just get out.
Sure. So we're running. We'll need pace. Is there a skill? I would like Oriana for you to roll a skill that you feel would apply for ensuring people are getting this door, then that door, and we're going there, and that's the easiest window because I know that there's a place for us to climb down. So a skill that you would apply for navigating this place with haste now, as opposed to stealth. What would you like to apply?
Because I was saying I have a talent of scouting, but that's not the same thing.
You can roll twice and then take the highest with scouting.
The thing is, I would have to say dexterity at this point, because my only actual skills in dexterity are acrobatics and stealth, and I don't think acrobatics really is this.
You can.
But
listen, I'm open for whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am absolutely.
I'm here for
that
bartering. You tell me what you want to use, and we use it, baby. Yes, and.
Okay. So I will do that and just be as quick as possible.
Yeah, 14.
14.
Yeah.
Will that do it, or should I try to reroll?
14 will be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, let's just. I want to start speedy search. Object retention. Upper hand sounds good. How many stun points?
Yeah. So do I have 4. Some stun? Oh,
yeah. So 4 stun points. You can get this exploration stun, which is upper hand. Now normally it gives you a +3 bonus to initiative roll, but I just like with the name of
there's
it.
initiative too.
It's that you're yeah exactly. So I think it's more that shit, torchlight, not that door. We'll go this one. You are being responsive to your environment, and to the people that you are finding. And right now priority is getting out. There has been a call to action because they can hear that there's people running up here. So you will hear a signifying bell, which means that you can suddenly hear more rapid movements. You can hear some calls. Not where you are currently, but you can hear dogs barking now. So you are able to get out and kind of skid, and maybe just have to you reach a window and you're like, fuck, breaking it, sure, but it's those little paneled windows, and you're like, I'm just gonna have to shoulder barge it a couple times to eventually just wedge that open. You're gonna come out to a section. You could try and climb it carefully, or you guys can just jump. You may hurt yourself, but not to a point of bad injury.
Yeah. I'd be honest,
shin
I'm
splits.
probably
You know when you land,
launching.
you're like, oh, my shins.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Oriana's gonna launch herself and just go first.
Yeah. And I think at that point, then I'll help her mum over and drop her to Oriana.
I would like to think that
same.
you go over to go over and help. And what she did, listen, this is another little
goes.
hunter in the woods. You go over to her and she turns and spins on you, and then you see her dropping down, and what she does is she drops to hold to the wall and then lowers and then drops from there. She's just, and you're like, I feel like you've done that before.
No, my mother is a saint.
Absolute saint. You can see Oriana about to jump, and then maybe you could just be like, all right, let's
Aranan doesn't question that. She's very happy.
yeah.
I was
just
gonna say, I
damn,
think you get
mama.
a little of a smirk from Oriana once you if you look at each other. She's like, yeah, my mom's cool.
Yeah, she's the first one now because she was the first one out there. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna go over to help, and she's like, whoa, she's already gone, and you're like, dang. Okay, yeah.
I love it.
She starts to pill bug away from them, and you're like, oh, that's where she gets it from. It's a hunting technique.
When I land, definitely got both knives out at that point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Mom's
no.
badass. Alright, keep going.
You are gonna have to figure out how you're getting out of these grounds. There are dogs barking. Sure, you're pretty confident that you laid that trap, and so realistically as players, they're not gonna be a problem, but character-wise, you would still be like, this could be still an issue.
Well, and
Uh,
there's definitely actually a little bit of a fear with those dogs. Oriana's not a fan of dogs, so.
no, there's a reason you make yourself smell like dirt.
But essentially, essentially in Oriana's mind, how she's kind of playing this is just a sweeping thing left. So like, first the dog bait, if you will, dead guards, grab mom, get out to the right, if that makes any sense. So just, you know, kind of sprinkling, but misdirection in one direction. So whatever way, if it's servants' quarters or anything like that, we're gonna try to just go out the opposite side, essentially.
Okay. And also, where are you going? Because
that's the question, isn't it?
you're still something visible, and I'd say that while you're running, you are gonna you'll hear that familiar, high-pitched, sharp sound followed by a thud, and it didn't hit you, but that was an arrow. So they've clearly got people up there that are trying to track down and are going for you. So dogs, sure, maybe not, but there are some people that can see. Yeah. So where are you going, and how are you going to cover those tracks?
Yeah.
Are you going to scatter?
I-
You have Iranan dressed up as a decoy, but there's still the where you're going to go and how you guys would like to conduct that sort of hopefully final part to this.
Because I think Oriana, she knows Denirim and knows the back roads, but the problem is she doesn't really have contacts here. And so I think she's gonna kind of give a brief look to Iranan and just, do you know where we can hide in Denirim?
Julianne?
Yeah, you could try and find Julianne. And hope that you don't bring too much heat their way. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to just leave the city because of the others, but I can and just wait for y'all.
But I can, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking it's kind of maybe a good, because it's partly attached to like a public place. So how far is it sort of distance-wise?
Well, Denirim is a big city, but even big cities, you know, we could be talking 20 minutes maybe at a decent pace, but it is whether you are aiming for speed or subtlety and stealth here, because even if you clear these grounds, there is the heat of sound of people being high alert, and usually folks running through a street can be a little suspicious to guards as well. So it is at what point the nature in which you want to do this tactically, because at a decent pace you could get there in 20 minutes. You can sacrifice and get there a little slower, but be a bit more coordinated about how you're going, long ways, sneaky ways, you know, like trying to blow off a little bit of the heat from behind you.
Okay. I'd like to make
I
a
would think we
suggestion.
stealth. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking maybe, because both Oriana and I know back streets quite well, and that perhaps for the first bit we could just run as fast as we can, and I might lead them not quite heading in the right-ish direction, but not like directly. And then once we've run through a few back streets, then maybe come out onto main roads and then go.
Are you going to
bit
tell
more.
Oriana where you're going? Because if you're splitting up, you'll need to know where you're meeting up.
Oh, are we splitting? Okay.
I don't know. If
I
you're
would say
running
if
together,
we have to, yeah.
Then
If
Tell
you
me
were
now,
to-
kind of thing. Yeah.
I'd call out the name of is it tavern?
Yeah, there's a tavern. But if it's the three of you together, then that's not necessarily an issue. I assumed what you meant is that you would peel off to like draw any heat your way, instead of it being on them. But then you would need a coordinating point. But if you are all together, that's easier. So it's your call.
We could stay together for the first run to see if it's working, and if it's not, then I'd peel off and tell Oriana where to meet me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think yeah, I think we'll just book it for this moment because we've been seen and shot at.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get you guys to roll. I know there's been a lot. This has been a skill heavy mission. This one. If you can do a final stealth roll from the pair of you for losing a trail.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Good. That's all right.
I'm good at stealth.
Yeah. You know what? There's been some phenomenal rolls in this mission, and we actually managed to get out without getting too badly hurt. We only had to kill
Yeah.
2 people.
Okay, that was good.
We
enough,
want to
okay.
kill more.
Well, or like getting a
Hmm?
decent pop shot at the asshole. But
Well,
yeah, it's. Mhm.
I was gonna ask, just if we do succeed here, there's one thing I will do before we leave.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was hoping.
Yeah. Maybe no. That note that Oriana had written,
Mhm.
she actually tied to the letter opener, and the guy that shot at me, I
Yeah.
would like to throw this in his face.
Ooh, sure.
Yep.
Sure. Romeo, do you have throwing knives?
I do. Oh, God, I really hope this isn't bad.
If
But
it's bad,
basically-
it'll just like thud against the. It won't be cool
Yeah.
and like injure him, but
Ow.
at least the general area.
I'm gonna aim for this. All right.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck.
13, but 13 would be a defense. Their defense is only 11, so.
Yes.
Yeah. So you manage to get it. It's not gonna be like a pinpoint like cool place, but you maybe like get it on the
No.
arm or like the shoulder, like oh my god.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I mostly
so-
want to make sure he gets that note back.
Sure. Would you like to tell us what the note says?
So I'll have to explain it a little bit. But the one side is his shitty ass note to me.
Yes.
The other side literally just has a question. And it says, "Do you still like olives?" And has it's tied on the dagger his letter opener.
I love
I
that.
will haunt your fucking brain, Bryce Calden.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway.
I want you to question every time you swallow a bite full of food.
Uh-huh.
Love that.
And
Love
if
that.
you happen to get presents of olives over the next 3 years, weird.
It's weird that really.
It's so strange.
Yeah. They don't grow them here.
No.
Okay. So you can have got that, yeah, just before you left the grounds. You're able to shake off, especially with that 18 in stealth there. There's maybe a couple moments where like you're taking one that actually is going to be the better route than where Aaron had maybe originally been going. You're like, oh no, you're right, and follow behind. You've hopefully managed to get rid of some of the heat. Heart rate still up, and you know for a fact that given that there are all of the guards and Bryce is very much still there, he knows exactly what you look like. And a lot of the guards saw the 3 of you running. This is not necessarily a safe place for you. So, although the guards that you're passing by and you do that whole like act natural and just like walk calmly and be like, don't worry about the sheen of sweat on me. I've been
And the blood
enjoying
spray.
myself this evening. Yeah, the blood spray.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's art. It's performance art. Don't worry about it.
I'm a butcher.
Denirim
Yeah.
is fine.
Richard. So there is that sort of worry. There's no way it would have gotten out so fast that these guards would know that there's a problem, but that little twig of fear that one or both maybe would have.
So I feel like he's so arrogant, he would not alert guards necessarily. I don't know.
We'll see.
Just a feeling. Yeah.
We'll see. Sure, but he does have his own as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think he
Yeah,
would be city guards.
there's only
I
so
think he would
far
just
you
send
can
us
run.
out.
Yeah. He'll feel like there's no way they'll escape. Get all the entrances and exits. So
No, I'm just kidding. Just back out, double bird.
yeah, you can
Uh,
head to this tavern, and it's busy. They're all kind of busy. You're noticing that there's just as many, and certainly a lot of people who have fled from the south are here in Denirim. It's a big enough city where there's less of an impact of people on the streets and camping on the outside, at least currently. You know for a fact that there's an entire town making their way as you speak, being evacuated, but the place is still busy. That tension is still there, and perhaps it is seeing that everyone's just kind of dealing with their own little struggles right now and clearly trying to have a good night to wash that away. And just before you go to find your contact around and hope that you can find somewhere to lay low, you just have to pray that, you know, the blood spray that is on you and the feeling of worry that you might still get caught is not obvious on the faces. So we are gonna end there so that we have plenty of time to do our little outros. Next week is our finale, everybody. We are gonna have to deal with some fallout and deal with a few personal things before hopefully finding a way out of this city and fleeing for Eldon. Will they manage? Let's find out next week. Well done to my players for getting through these scenes and dealing with people and handing some asses to those who deserve their asses handed to them. It's great. We love to see it. Thank you all, audience, for sticking with us through that. And please do come join us for the finale of our first season. We will definitely be back for season 2. Do not worry. We will be taking about a 6-week break, but we'll talk a bit more about that next week. So for now, we will do our outros, tell you who we are, where you can find us, and yeah, we will do that. I will start myself. I'm just going to pull this out because I feel like I have my dates. Excellent. So I'm Emma Humley on the internet. I've been the GM here, and I seem to just GM an awful lot of Dragon Age. In terms of where you can find me right now, this is the only place currently active up at the moment. So you will see me here next week for the finale. But August 3rd, there's going to be a premiere for the final season of In Darkness Unbroken over at Valdin's channel, which has been our 4 season long. This will be our 5th season for that Dragon Age story, kind of tying up some loose ends and getting into some drama. So that'll be very good. And also, there will be a VOD going up, or maybe it is already up on YouTube, of the one shot I ran on Friday, which was on Oops All Crows called Murder They Wrote. Absolutely incredible. The roleplay was phenomenal. The players did amazing. So 10 out of 10 do recommend checking that out. It was a little Pride one shot, because there's nothing more Pride than the queer ass motherfuckers that work for the Antivan Grows. But that's me. Everyone else, if you can just tell us who you are and where we can find you.
I'm Emily. I'm on the internet at EmilyBard20. You can find me on the X on Instagram. Got my links on my link tree. Yeah, this is all that I'm in at the moment. We've got season 2 of Black Teeth coming up in a couple of weeks. Really some fun things stirring in the background for that. But yeah, this is the only stream that you can catch my face in at the moment, so I'm easy to avoid.
Hi everyone, my name is Satan or Alyssa Vamp on the interwebs, and you can catch me here for one more episode for a little bit. You can also catch me in other transmissions, productions. I did a little mini like podcast game with a few of the people here, and then in the channel as a whole, you might find a little bit of my cameo over on Black Teeth as well. See if you can find out who I am. You won't win anything other than like me being
Bragging
happy
rights.
and
Yeah.
bragging rights. Yeah. And you can also find me in the final season of In Darkness Unbroken over at Belgian, where I play a very different elf. Very different than Phelan. But still an elf. I have a type. And yeah, that's me.
Hi, I am Jill. I also go by GhostDJK on the internet. I use she, they pronouns, and I have been playing Beverly. This is also the only thing I've got going on right now, so check out all of these other beautiful people. I know I have a link to my card, and the first 2 links there have donations to people who are fundraising to get out of Gaza right now. So I guess I'm gonna plug that. Yeah, this is what I've got going on. Check out Black Teeth. Keep on looking at our socials for announcements.
Hello, everyone. I am Torin, or Torin Talks Creativity. I've been playing Oriana, who is honestly at her core very dark, but it's fine. It's been very, very fun today. As far as where you can find me, I'm actually on vacation. Don't tell anybody. I will be back on July 15th. Well, technically, I will be back here next Tuesday, but then back to my normal shenanigans on July 15th going forward. I have a lot of projects coming up that I'm very excited to tell you about. And for now, just wish me relaxation and rest. Appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. I am Zakaya. I go by she, her pronouns, and I have purposefully stepped back from lots of things for the next month as well because I'm up to my eyeballs doing season 2 of Black Teeth. So that's being edited, and at the beginning of August, I will be doing things for a couple of shows for Horde of Tales. I think. Oh no, for Euphoria and for Science and Sorcery, but we shall also be recording. Many of us here, the 3rd season of Black Teeth, which will be very exciting. You haven't even heard 2 yet, so I can't say anything. But lots of interesting stuff. So looking forward to that.
Hell yeah. And lastly, a little plug for me that's not technically a game, but as of next Monday, I am going to start streaming myself playing through the DragonAge games here on this channel, on the transmissions, and there will be a call open, so the familiar faces and voices that you are used to hearing, you may hear them coming in so that I can chat shit and also talk about lore and just be a nerd about DragonAge. I'll be starting with 2 and not Origins because Origins would not cope very well with being streamed. It can cope okay, kind of, with being played on a PC. Streaming it though, nah. So unfortunately, you won't see me doing Lothering, but you will see me on the queerest of the DragonAge games, which is one of my favorites. So that'll be next Monday, hopefully. I've been learning how to do that. I don't think our usual person that we raid is not live right now. No, so we won't be doing a raid today, but that's okay. Instead, I would
Taylor's
like
on,
you
but I
guys
don't think we
to
follow Rolf. Let's do.
take your time to rest, everybody. Look after yourselves, because I know stuff is difficult out there, and it's important that you look after yourselves and one another. And we will see you next week for the finale. Woo.